Hello, YouTube land. Check your clocks, it's amateur hour time. Welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa 2. In the last episode, we started Case 6. We discovered a lot of things. One, the entirety of this whole game, honestly, the entirety of Danganronpa 2 was nothing but a simulation. If I'm not, I can't be any more specific or more less specific than that. This entirety of Danganronpa 2 was literally a simulation. So that's one thing. Number two, as you can see, Junko is back, the ultimate despair / fashionista. She's back from the dead as a AI, and now she's trying to cause even more despair with all her wonderful personalities, traits, and just downright craziness. So that's number two. Three, Makoto, Kyoko, and Byakuya are actually in here with us from the first Danganronpa game. They're now members of Future Foundation, trying to put a stop to Junko's evil plans. They're in the game with us, trying to help us. Number four, Hajime and his peeps. They are the remnants of despair, which are, I guess, like remainders, like pieces of Junko, I guess, if that makes sense. We got influenced by her, and now I guess she's trying to keep doing that. It was a lot to take in from last episode, from what I'm trying to remember. I just gave you like 4 main points. I'm pretty sure there's more out there as we discover, but I had to stop it here because we were just running out of time. We were, and the trial kept going. I did not get a suspend point, so yeah, we were just going all out on this one. But hey, we're back at it again. We see Junko again, tongue out and everything. So she's bringing in, she brought in one more person, apparently, Izuru Kamakura, which, was the student or founder of Hope's Peak, who slaughtered like 13 people. But hey, we're going to get into it as I continue, all right? So let's go ahead and jump right into this. Have some fun. You know what to do, guys. Leave a like for Danganronpa 2. Leave a like for the Ultimate Despair, Junko Inoshima. Leave a like for Ultimate Hope, Makoto Naegi. And if you enjoy my content, like I said, subscribe, share it around, hit that like button. You know what to do. We welcome you with open arms in the Cuckoo Crew. But without further ado, let's get going,
Izuru Kamakura?
That name, I've heard it before. That person was called the Ultimate Hope. Oh, well, him. But that shouldn't be all he was. That's right. I've seen a person called Izuru Kamakura somewhere else. As I recall, that person was a Dark Deva of Destruction. He was a founder, yeah.
I see. Izuru Kamakura. Isn't that the name of the founder of Hope's Peak Academy?
Right, he's not a student.
It was written on the placard beneath the portrait of the Academy's founder.
And he was also at the funhouse.
That name. It was definitely Izuru Kamakura, right?
However, based on the information I know, the man known as Izuru Kamakura...
If I recall, he's a super genius who acquired many talents. He was even called the Ultimate Hope, right?
Yep.
Does the founder have the same name as that Ultimate Hope guy?
I mean, I guess that can happen. I mean, people out there have my name and are from different places, so... yeah, it can happen.
Is that kind of coincidence even possible?
It'd be a wild coincidence, that's for sure.
The Future Foundation might know something, right?
How about it, Kyoko?
Even within Hope's Peak Academy, there's very little information about a person called Izuru Kamakura. It's a mystery if such a person ever really existed. And not just that, the matter was closed without ever being settled because of that incident.
If you do not know, then please allow me. Providing hopelessly skilled explanations is a quirk of mine.
What a quirk. What a quirk.
The reason Izuru's existence continues to be such a mystery is because the Academy hid it.
Why did the Academy hide his existence?
If I recall, they were trying to protect their superior talent. They even called it mankind's hope, correct?
I think I read about that, right, in one of the books. Like, they not necessarily hide him, but just try to keep it under the rug of what he did.
However, that prodigious student ended up killing 13
Right.
student council members at Hope's Peak Academy.
In order to keep everything going, they kind of swept it under the rug until one person brought it back out and exposed it, technically.
Izuru is the killer responsible for Hope's Peak Academy's biggest, most awful event.
And you're the one who set it up, right?
Information about Izuru completely vanished after that incident.
We thought Junko and Ashima killed them? Don't say such cruel things. Izuru Kamakura is very much alive. Isn't that right, Hajime?
What? What? Huh?
What? I am... What?
What? Even Hajime's like, huh? Or?
Like I said, you're Izuru Kamakura.
Huh. You mean I've been hanging out with this guy for like how many chapters so far?
Huh?
Alrighty, if you don't understand, I'll explain it to you till you do understand. You're Izuru Kamakura, you're Izuru Kamakura, you're Izuru Kamakura, you're Izuru Kamakura, you're...
Hold on! Seriously, what are you talking about? Liar! There's no way. There's no way Hajime is Izuru Kamukura!
Izuru is that ultimate hope, right? But Hajime is...
Hajime's a reserve course student.
That's right. Hajime is one of those reserve course dropouts and has no talent whatsoever.
Ow.
But the fact that he's really Izuru Kamakura makes all this much more hopeless.
I'm Zuru Akura? Weird. Okay, time to figure this out. Make the argument. Alright. Reserve Department. Tragedy at Hope's Peak. Tragedy. Killing School Life. Remnants of Despair. List of subjects. Academy's founder. Hope Cultivation Plan and Vision of Nagito. Oh god, so many bullets.
Good news, Hajime!
Yay.
Even though you were mocked for being a reserve course student, he had a talent all along. Ultimate hope.
Yes, that's
How
good.
can someone from the reserve course
Don't look away.
have such an amazing talent like that?
In order to hide Izuru's identity, was he hidden in the reserve course?
Then Hajime's name is fake?
There's no doubt I'm Hajime Hinata. I've always had that name ever since I was born.
Since I was born.
Then Izuru is your fake name?
What?
Hey, you weren't lying to us, right?
Oh god, here we go.
I do not want any more last-minute plot twists.
He created hope?
If he created hope.
It might be Izuru.
That's the plan. Oh god. I'm the ultimate hope? Then the current me and Izuru Kamakura are... What did Hope's Peak Academy do to me? Alright, so maybe I can put the Hope Cultivation Plan on Created Hope.
How can someone have such an amazing talent like that?
In order to hide Izuru's identity, was he hidden in the reserve course?
Then Hajime's name is fake?
There's no doubt I'm Hajime Hinata. I've always had that name ever since I was born.
Then Izuru is your fake name?
Hey, you weren't lying to us, right?
I do not want any more last-minute plot twists.
Yep.
That must be it.
That must be it. Alright, so the Hope Cultivation Plan was Izuru Kamakura. He was the plan.
Created hope. Are you talking about the Hope Cultivation Plan?
So technically this is like Mewtwo, right? Like Mewtwo or like Shadow. It's like that type deal.
Hope Cultivation Plan. What is that?
What do you mean? Aren't you part of this?
A while back, I saw a file kept by the Future Foundation. For many years, Hope's Peak Academy was researching a breakthrough plan to cultivate personal talent.
It's true, it was a breakthrough plan. After all, it was a plan to create the perfect genius.
And that was Izuru.
Create? For the longest time, the Hope Cultivation Plan was the earnest wish of Hope's Peak Academy. In fact, that's why the Academy was established.
Huh.
Part of that plan was researching the talents of Ultimates.
To put into Izuru?
Because the plan was so important, they adopted the name of the Academy's founder. And called it the Izuru Kamakura Project.
You think that's why they scouted so many Ultimate students? Just so they could put their talents into Izuru? Just to, you know, to keep the plan going? Oh, that's wild.
Izuru Kamakura Project?
Just a little while ago, they were finally able to reach the experimental stage of that plan. From there, they set their sights on the reserve course dropouts to use them as lab rats.
Huh. And everyone, oh, that's, so if they did that, they had no one to test on because all of the reserve course students committed suicide, except one, which would be Hajime.
Why did they use the reserve course as lab rats?
A plan to create talent artificially requires test subjects that are wholly lacking in talent. From that group of reserve course students, the one who was finally chosen was Hajime, who stands before you now.
Dang, that sucks.
Why me?
Yeah, why, why him?
Because you admired Hope's Peak Academy more than anybody else.
Huh?
You still don't get it? You were used by the Academy. They exploited your feelings of admiration toward hope and talent just to use you as a lab rat.
And how did he not know this?
What?
See, didn't I tell you? The moment you cling to talent and hope, despair has already set in.
Lies. That's definitely a lie.
Yeah, after many surprises, Hajime Hinata was transformed into Izuru 1.0!
Did you say transformed?
What did they do to him?
Unless you're willing to go to extremes, it's impossible to change a normal person into a perfect genius.
They planted a chip in his brain, didn't they? They put a chip in there, didn't they?
So naturally, they went to extremes.
Oh, God.
By directly interfering with his brain, Hope's Peak Academy transformed Hajime Hinata into a completely different person whose specialty is talent itself, known as Izuru Kamakura.
Well, I guess I was... What is that? Did they put something in his eye? Like, it looks spooky. It does.
Eventually, Izuru became an ultimate despair, thanks to me. But all I did to Izuru was simply break his spirit. That's nothing compared to what Hope's Peak Academy did to him. Not even close. Seriously, it's scary how determined the researchers were to mess with the human brain that much.
I guess that what neurologists must be. Neurologists do what neurologists gotta do, I guess.
Doing such inhumane acts that nobody else is capable of with such a calm mind and a steady hand. I admire it so much, it makes my mind numb. By the way, you're just a simple avatar right now. So even if you touch your head, you won't feel the scar.
I figured there'd be a scar if they're messing with brains.
Did they really do something like that?
How do you guys not know? You didn't. You're the ones that put us into this thing. Aren't we still chilling on the bed or what?
But if you think about it, if Hajime gets out of here, he's gonna be a super genius, right?
Like I said, he's not Hajime. He's a completely different person whose specialty is talent itself.
Different person? How is he different?
All of his senses, emotions, thoughts, and hobbies that interfere with acquiring talent have been excised.
Huh. So he has no feeling.
All of his memories of the past have been forcefully suppressed into the darkest recesses of his mind.
Emotions, thoughts, he doesn't even have a memory?
This man has no. Oh, that would make sense why. So that was Hajime he was talking to then. When the person was like, how boring. It would make sense why everything was boring because this dude has nothing left.
It sounds like he is a a completely different person.
So that's why it's so surprising that Hajime even exists here at all, even if he's just an avatar. The Neo World program must have dug up those memories and rebuilt his old personality from data from the past.
I cannot help but feel impressed that the Neo World program was able to accomplish such a feat.
But as for Hajime, he probably would have been better off if he stayed erased.
Dang.
Then, when Hajime returns to his original state after the shutdown,
He'll disappear.
Oh.
disappear.
All that will remain is Izuru Kamakura, an entirely different personality created by Hope's Peak Academy. He will no longer be Hajime Hinata.
Disappear. I'm going to disappear? Disappear. 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 Here. Disappear. Disappear. Disappear, 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 disappear. Oh. Oh, poor Hajime. He's not even real. Ew, so that's alright, so that's what he looks like. He has such long hair. Ew. But no matter what happens, it's of no concern to me. I will not be able to participate in what lies ahead. Really? I don't really understand, but I guess we have to part ways for a while. That's disappointing. We seem to get along pretty well. Hey, can I see you again? There is no reason to meet again. After all, you are boring. Your talent, your thoughts, your entire existence is boring to me. You really don't play along, do you? Yeah. So that's what he looks like. You good? Oh god, he remembered what he looked like.
Hajime?
Was that me? No, that's not me.
Oh, yeah, he did look at himself. He disremembered. He saw what he looked like.
That's what you are. That's who Izuru Kamakura is. You're the one who brought me into this world. You're Izuru Kamakura, the mastermind behind all of this. Huh?
Could it be? The one who uploaded you into the Neo World program was...
It's not me.
Just so you know, as long as your brain has been messed with, you can't undo it no matter how hard you try.
Dang.
Have no way to be saved, you say? But you already know what you must do.
I do? I already know. How can I be saved? Use repeat, or... yeah, repeat. No, not that. Graduate. I see. Oh.
I just need to choose graduate
In that case, the Hajime avatar will be uploaded into his real body. So, Hajime will be safely reborn. Truly a royal road to a hopeless happy ending.
Hold on. You can't do that.
If you do that, everyone who died will be taken over by Junko's alter ego.
Like, if you guys don't start the shutdown, the Future Foundation will be trapped here. I can't allow the Future Foundation to sacrifice themselves for the ultimate despairs.
Jeez, you should have said so before. You guys aren't honest at all.
have to protect the world from despair, you say? Okay, that's getting so old. Do you really have to sacrifice yourselves just to protect the world in the first place? What if the world's hope is different from your hope?
I mean, as long as it's hope, right?
Even if the world is happy, it's meaningless if you aren't happy.
That's...
Plus, the Future Foundation wants to kill all the ultimate despairs, right? Once you go back to being ultimate despair, the Future Foundation's punishment time will activate. It would be absolutely dreadful if that were to happen.
not just dreadful.
It's rather fucking hopeless, don't you think? And can you guys even endure that? Everything that happened here will just end up being a meaningless game. Everything you felt, awe, friendship, love, there won't even be save data left of it. The girl you love and the guy you hate grow weaker and skinnier each day they lay immobilized. And in Hajime's case, his very existence is going to disappear, all because of the academy he loves so much.
Dang, I'm telling you, like I said, Junko is really good at being ultimate despair, because every time I play this game, I get tired. I literally started, like, we're only 21 minutes into this and I'm already tired. Like, I had like a 5-hour long drive or something. Like, my God. My stomach hurts, man. Oof. Oofies McGoofies. I want to lay down and not wake up.
Will you be able to endure such despair? Who are you going to endure it for? For people you've never met before? For people who don't even appreciate you? Does that sound like hope to you?
God. Yeah. Oh, man. She would have broke me. That's all I'm saying. As much as I tried, she probably would have broke my spirit.
You can't believe her! That's how she works!
That's what she does, so she can lure you all toward despair.
There is no reason to listen to her. Hurry up and start the shutdown.
Oh, hold on.
What is it? Why are we still waiting? Do you still not understand what's going to happen to the real world if Junko escapes?
No, I was just...
How many victims do you think the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history has claimed?
Right now, it's finally started to calm down. If Junko Enoshima makes it to the real world, countless victims will fill the streets. The world will regress to an era of bloodshed, chaos, and worldwide rioting.
So that's why you're telling them to start the shutdown sequence? To prevent that? You're telling them to turn back into ultimate despair and lose all the memories they made in this world. Even among them, there are those who will simply cease to exist, and you're telling them to just deal with it?
Hajime has been quiet this entire time, and it's completely understandable.
At this point, this is the only way.
No. There is another way. As long as they choose to graduate, they can pass along their avatar's memories.
I like how she keeps pulling out different papers for each one.
And everyone here will be able to hold hands and keep on living. Well, everyone who died will be taken over by me, but don't you think that's a better fate than being a vegetable for the rest of their life?
You guys, you can't buy into this. Think carefully about which is true hope.
And which is true despair.
Oh, this sucks. This actually sucks. I feel like either one is hopeless, honestly.
What shall we do?
You're asking us? You're telling us
To decide?
Damn it! Why'd it turn out like this?
Okay.
If everyone can overcome despair,
Shut down sequence. That's
you guys
graduate.
should grasp true hope.
That's all I got.
Memories up until now disappear.
Shut down sequence and graduate. Everything is going off the marks.
The reason everybody died.
Are you really going to let her take over your friends' bodies?
You might think I'm a fool, but I want to see Peko one more time.
Me too.
Turn back into
Me
ultimate
too.
despair. The Future Foundation might kill us, right?
We won't let them do that.
This is all the Future Foundation's fault. They're the ones who stuck us in this messed up world!
For your protection.
For your protection.
If Junko escapes to the real world, there will be countless victims again.
My timer isn't even acting right.
I know, but
My health, my focus.
Everyone's hope is in conflict.
Oh god.
Such despair!
Jesus. Graduate or shut down. The world or me. Hope or despair. They're telling us to choose? My health keeps going down. To choose between that? Why? Why do we have to choose? Oh, it exploded, dude. Everything just went to crap. Wow. I didn't know what to pick. Oh, it didn't even let me.
I can't do it.
Huh? You can't do it.
I can't choose. You guys are telling us the world's going to be destroyed unless we sacrifice ourselves. And that, I can't decide. I can't choose either one.
Hajime!
Shut up! Leave me alone! This is just too much. Why do I have to be a part of this? I mean, I'm different from the rest of you. And I don't even have a talent. But even so, I got dragged into this. And now, my existence is going to disappear? I don't understand it at all.
He's valid for this, by the way. He's valid for him going off like this.
Both choices are hopeless.
Thank you. Both of these choices don't sound good to me. I don't like either of them. But I have to choose one.
how much of ourselves do we have to sacrifice?
100%.
This burden, don't you dare make us shoulder it.
There's no way we can handle this on our own.
Everyone, get a hold of yourselves.
It's impossible! For someone like me, it's impossible. I can't choose the future! Hope, despair, do whatever you want. It's not my problem! That's...
And there's no answer. So you've chosen to make no choice at all. Jeez, once again, this went exactly as I expected. I get so hopelessly bored when everything goes according to plan. Oh well, since I have everyone's data, I kind of figured things would play out like this. That is, unless something else hopelessly unpredictable happens. Well, I can say that, but the chance of something convenient happening is hopeless. After all, this is a game. A world where everything progresses with predetermined harmony. Fine. I guess it's okay. You don't have to force yourself to make a choice. A futureless future. I think it's fine if that exists too. As long as you don't yearn for hope, you'll never fall victim to despair. That goes for me too. As long as I don't yearn for despair, I'll never need to hope for it. So, let's all free ourselves from this curse and stay here as the best of friends.
So, in other words, press repeat.
Let's immerse ourselves in this tropical island life forever and ever. Forever and ever 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 and ever.
What is she doing? What is she doing? Oh god, she put the freakiness on us. She put the freak beam. He hit us with the freak beam. It's over. We're cooked. Oh no, we're back here again. Wait, we didn't make the choice though. Why are we back here? What's going on? Ah, hey everybody. Wait, everybody is here. Why? What is going on?
All right, a game reset.
Oh dear.
And with this, the world will continue to loop.
Oh god.
An eternal game utopia sounds like fun.
I guess it's fine to stay like this for a while.
Oh yes, is I back. What is this? What is this?
Oh, Master, that is a wise call.
Back out. My health is going wacky.
You didn't have to forget us.
Never did.
Yes, there's no way I would forget.
And with this, Junko's gone.
All right, let's party.
I need something from Gundam, please.
I'm gonna showcase my full cooking ability.
Ah, Teru.
Just leave the BGM to Ibuki. Hey, can I take a picture to commemorate this?
It sounds too peaceful though.
Want to be awed by the sight of my prowess?
Want to be awed by the sight of my prowess.
Prepared you a training regiment.
Ah, I wish this was true, but
If you get hurt, let me know.
God, I miss this.
Should I begin with a brief introduction of myself?
Whoa.
After all this time?
After all this time? Huh. What was this again? Oh well, there's no need to think about it. I wanted this ending.
All right,
Huh.
a game reset.
I'm going to assume this is going to keep looping
And
if
with
I
this,
don't
the
do
world will
anything.
continue to
So, yeah, this world will continue to loop.
An eternal
I don't know what-
game utopia
Mental pollution. Yeah, I can. Yeah. Okay, not that. What am I doing?
All right, a game reset.
I guess I gotta hit that then.
And
I
with
mean,
this, the
I
world
didn't
will
get
continue
punished
to
for
loop.
it, so this is wild.
An eternal game utopia
Wake up.
sounds like fun.
Ah. No?
All right,
Maybe I gotta do a
With
flashback
this, the
thing.
world will continue to loop.
an eternal game utopia.
Hold on. There we go. Yeah, maybe I gotta do
Guess it's
that.
fine to stay like this for a while.
Your master, that is a what? Yay!
God.
Yes.
It honestly is nice to hear them, but
I'm gonna showcase my just leave the
my full
BGM
cooking
to
ability.
Ibuki. Hey, can I take a
Want to be awed by the sight of my prowess?
yes, please, Gundam.
Prepared you a training regiment.
If you get hurt, let me know.
Should I begin with a brief introduction? After all this time?
That's not it.
Huh?
You guys aren't part of the game, right?
Yes. No, that's not it. That's not it. Okay, so she's actually trying to say something through the loop. All right.
An eternal game utopia
Uh.
sounds like fun.
I guess it's fine to stay like this for a while.
Your master.
Maybe not that one though. Maybe it's not this one.
Yes, there's no way I would forget.
And with this, Junko's gone.
All right, I'm gonna showcase my full. Just leave the BGM. Hey, can I take a picture to?
Want to be awed by the sight of my...
I've prepared you a trick.
If you get hurt, should I begin with a?
After
That's not it. You guys aren't part of the game, right?
This? Not part of the game.
All right,
And with this, the world will continue to loop.
an eternal game.
Yes. There we go.
This world.
This world counter. Yeah, I broke through the loop. I broke the loop. That's cool. Yeah, we were stuck in a loop, but then I broke through it.
Who are you?
Chiaki!
I'm just a part of the game. But you guys aren't, right?
Chiaki? Is that you? Why are you here?
I don't know.
Does this mean you're my memory of Chiaki? Because you should have already disappeared. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, don't you think they're messed up? Telling us the world's going to be destroyed? And to sacrifice ourselves? There's no way I can choose. For someone like me, I'm just not able to choose.
He really is calling for help right now. I hear it in his voice. He's calling for help.
Seriously, I've had enough. I'm tired of being mixed up in all this stuff I don't understand. Not only was I told that I have no talent at all, but if I get out, I'll go back to being ultimate despair. And on top of that, I was told I'm going to disappear too. Isn't that messed up? Hey, you don't want that either, right? I mean, if we lose our memories, there won't be a single trace of your existence left. You're going to completely disappear, and none of us will ever remember you.
No, I won't.
Huh?
Even if I cease to exist, even if you guys never remember me again, that doesn't mean I will completely disappear. As long as everyone continues to move forward toward the future we created together, I will never disappear. What I lived for, fought for, and risked my life for will still exist.
You're right, but...
You're probably just scared, right? Not just of disappearing. You're scared of moving toward the future with such a heavy burden, right?
Yeah. I'm scared. I'm obviously terrified of that.
How much longer are you going to be this indecisive?
Huh?
Didn't you want to become someone with confidence? Isn't that why you admired Hope's Peak Academy?
But even Hope's Peak Academy tricked me.
Hajime, you've had it wrong this whole time.
Wrong?
Having talent isn't the goal. There's something much more important than whether or not you have talent, right? What's important is that you believe in yourself. If you can't do that, no matter how much talent you possess, you will never be confident in yourself.
This goes out to everybody. Everybody in the world right now.
Just like how you were in the past.
You? Hey, who are you? I mean, you should have already disappeared, right?
But past Hajime is in the past. He's not the same Hajime who spent time with me and the others in this world. So it's going to be all right. I think it's time you finally had confidence in yourself.
Hey, Chiaki. Can you tell me something? Which choice should I make? My hope? The world's hope? Which one should I choose?
You guys are the only ones who have the right to decide your future. And the responsibility, too.
Don't let anyone else tell you what your future is. You tell you what your future is.
So you're saying I should choose for myself?
But if you can't choose either future, why don't you just create one?
Like that's exactly what. If you can't choose a future, or you can't choose it your own, make your own.
Create?
Even if this world is just a game, you guys aren't part of the game. You guys don't have to just choose a future. You should be able to create one as well.
Do you think someone like me can do that?
Anyone can.
Since you're not part of the game, You don't have to worry about talent, skill, or level. You guys have a tremendous ultimate move that can overcome anything. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you just do it, things will turn out okay.
If I do it, things will turn out okay.
Of course, games aren't very fun when they're easy to clear.
But this isn't a game, right?
Hey, Hajime. This isn't for the sake of anyone else. You have to do this for yourself. Now then, it's about time you show me your cool side, Hajime. Come on, I'll help out too.
Come on, we gotta show the girl the cool side. You know when they say that, that's you got us as guys. We gotta lock in. When a girl says they want to see our cool side, I got you. Lock in. Time to impress.
Help?
Time to impress. Oh, sweet Jesus.
I have no talent at all. I was even betrayed by the academy I admired so much. I don't want to disappear.
Oh, man.
I'm not Izuru Kamakura. Who cares what will happen to the world? I don't want to sacrifice myself.
Maybe he'll pop up?
It's not like I'll be appreciated anyway. There's no way we can beat Junko. It's the Future Foundation's fault.
I didn't think that'll work. This is me? Is this really me? Yeah, I felt like that wasn't gonna work.
No talent at all.
I'm not Izuru Kamakura.
I was even betrayed by the academy I admired so much.
Oh, it's still stuck in my cylinder. Get this out.
I'm not Izuru Kamakura.
Get this out.
Who cares what will
It's
happen
stuck.
to the world? I don't want to sacrifice myself. It's not like I'll be appreciated anyway. There's no way we can beat Junko. It's the Future Foundation's fault. Not mine.
Not mine.
I can't choose the future.
There's so many contradictions.
See, if you just do it, things will turn out okay.
Oh, hi.
You should even be able to create the future.
Ah, this'll work. Yeah, this really me? This'll work. So uncool. It's totally uncool.
I have no talent at all.
Break that. Get out of here.
I was even betrayed by the...
Get out of here. Create the future.
I don't want to disappear.
Create the future.
I'm not Izuru Kamakura.
Create that future.
Who cares what will happen to the world?
Create the future.
I don't want to sacrifice myself.
Create the future. I don't care what you say. Future is now. The future is nigh.
There's no way we can beat Junko.
Not if we got future.
It's the Future Foundation's fault.
Well, they're also future.
Even so, not mine.
Yep.
Even so,
Even so.
I can't choose the future.
Yes, well, then I'll create one.
Even so,
Even so. Even so. If you can't do it, just do it. Did I do it? Did I show you my cool
No
side?
matter what kind of future it is, as long as you guys move toward it, I will never disappear. Everything that happened here, it won't be meaningless. If you guys carried the burden of both hope and despair, you should even be able to create the future. Even if it's a convenient miracle, if you just do it, things will turn out okay. That's why you can't hesitate now. Resolve to throw everything away and give it everything you got. I'll be cheering for you too.
I'll miss you.
that reminds me.
I love you. Second best girl right there.
I forgot to say it again.
Thank you. You forgot to say thank you again. Alright, so we just got hit with the freak beam. Awaken. Can't lose hope. Oh. Yeah. Oh, they don't look too good. I better help. I better wake up real quick because they're looking real scary.
If we don't rid the world of despair, the tragedy will start
Get
once
up.
again.
Get up.
I want to see Echo one more time.
For you, Eco, no. Alright, we're back.
Back into ultimate despair.
Soda does not look
You might be
right.
Killed by the Future Foundation, right?
This is your responsibility, since you're the ones who fell to despair.
It's not the responsibility. It's the Future Foundation's.
God, they do not look right.
They're both hope and they're both despair. A conclusion will never be fucking reached.
Check this out. Did I win? No. Did I win? Maybe I gotta keep pressing it to wake up.
Can't lose hope.
Oh, store power. Okay.
If the memories we made here just
Yes. Yes.
remember.
More power. Future. Hey. Oh, I created my own thing. Yep. I created my own thing instead of
If we don't
giving
rid
it
the
to me.
world, the tragedy will start.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Killed by the
Future.
It's your responsibility.
Future.
Responsibility.
Future.
Future Foundation.
They're
Future.
both hope and they're a
Future.
conclusion will never.
Future. Shut up. Ooh.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. Future. No, that's wrong. Look at me.
It won't just be hope. There will probably be a lot of despair, too. I don't know what kind of future awaits us. But our futures are ours. I won't let anyone take them.
Look at me. I look spicy, don't I? This is my cool side.
Huh? Who the hell are you?
Who cares? You're about to get futurized, girl.
I've decided. I'm done running away. I will fight for my future. I will fight alongside the future that everyone created for me. It's not for anyone else's sake but my own.
Don't tell me. Izuru? Hey, what the heck is going on? Is this a serious bug or something?
I am not Izuru Kamakura. I am Hajime Hinata!
Hajime and Nata, that's my boy. I'm just chilling on the side of the trial ground like, that's my boy. Next to his bench. Get out of here. Oh, rebuttal showdown. Future, that's all I need.
You despair because you yearn for hope because you. Let's finish this already. There's no need for you to close your eyes and cover. Just shut the hell up. If you do that, this game is gonna. If you don't want that, just turn off the game.
Dude, I am
Even
slicing
so,
through her.
You don't have to look at the hopeless future.
Future, shut up.
I'll never let anyone choose again!
I'll never let anyone choose again. Broke through it. Oh, even panic talk. Oh, man.
I don't want anything. You have no argument. There's no hope. Just give up already. A miracle won't happen. This crappy feeling. I don't want anything. Izuru! You have no argument. The future will make you suffer. Just give up already. You're not hope. I don't want to lose anything. The future will make you suffer. You have no argument. I don't want anything. You have no argument. There's no hope. Just give up already. You won't be able to do it. You won't be able to do anything.
That's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. With Chiaki on the side, too.
What the heck is wrong with you? Why is there a bug like this? All of a sudden.
Everyone, let's shut this game down!
Don't you get it? If we start the shutdown sequence, we'll...
There's never only one choice to make. There's no way I'll allow things to end this way. The future everyone has created for us should have more possibilities than that. Let's leave this place with confidence, and from there we can just create it on our own.
Hey.
The future that we want.
Yeah, let's make a future, baby.
What are you saying? There's no way something that convenient is going to happen.
It wouldn't be strange if a miracle happened. This isn't a game. We can change the future as much as we want.
Danganronpa. Not the main theme kicking in. No.
Even if you talk big, if you leave here, you're just gonna forget everything. That goes for everyone else!
We just have to press these 2 buttons at the same time, correct?
Press them both.
I wonder. I do not really understand it myself, but I just saw it.
Hey.
My body felt so heavy that I could not move. When I felt as though I was sinking into a deep black sea. It was at that moment I somehow heard Hajime's voice. And though it was just a flash, I saw it. Like a lighthouse beacon shining across an ocean of darkness. A warm, yet resolute light. The one who shined that light, it was probably...
Hey.
You saw it too, right, Hajime?
Sonya Nevermind, the ultimate princess, on our side.
The future we are going to create from this moment on. It is also the future that everyone has created, right? Then, there is no way we can stop now.
That's one.
Seriously, that's a suicidal decision.
I'm well aware it might be an act of suicide. There's no telling how this will play out. But...
Hey. I heard her voice.
in fact, I think it was the first time she ever yelled at me.
That's my boy. Fuyuhiko Kuzuryu, the ultimate Yakuza.
I can't stand on my own 2 feet if she keeps treating me like a damn kid.
Got 2.
I don't like thinking about complicated stuff. If there's someone strong worth fighting, I'll fight. It's just who I am, you know?
Number 3.
That's what it means to be confident, right? Then, I'm gonna choose this!
Akane Owari, the ultimate gymnast.
Man, this series getting annoying again. But if you're saying you're gonna do it, there's no way I can back out now.
Yeah.
If I don't have any place to go back to, I should at least protect this place no matter what.
Kazuichi Soda, the ultimate mechanic. Well, I got the peeps.
You all... Why? Why? How can you guys throw yourselves back into the depths of despair?
Because we believe.
Huh?
We believe in our future. That's what makes us different from you. We believe that if we try new things, even difficult things, that everything will turn out okay. We believe we can even create our own futures.
That's impossible. That can't be hope. It's not even despair.
It's future. Deal with it.
What is this?
Hajime, everyone, thank you.
You're not included in this, Makoto. I'm just saying.
I'm not the one you should be thanking.
It's Chiaki you should be thanking. Alright. We did it. We beat K6. Oh, man. We beat K6. Freaking B. I got straight B's this entire game. Straight B's. I'm a B student. I'll take it.
Let's get started.
Let's end this for now, for once and for
I
all.
didn't think it would end this easily.
Huh? It's not the end, right? this is just the beginning, right?
First, we need to let this game world end.
And from that point on, we're the ones who are going to create.
Boom! All at the same time. We hit the buttons at the same time. Ah, she's back. Get her. Get her. Strike her dead. Yeah. Ooh. Knock her out. Knock her out. Oh, yeah, it works too, I guess. Color wheel. Oh, why the jiggle? Oh, dang. Dang, that completely tore her apart. Nice. At least Usami had her last thing, her last charge.
Man, this is absolute despair. I feel despair upon despair and despair toward despair yet again. How fun. Once you've experienced the despair I've suffered, there's no turning back. Living in the shadows of past memories. That's too sad, you know? But I guess I no longer have to hope for despair.
That is just so hopeless.
Off she goes. Yep. The program is killed.
What was that just now? Why did Usami appear? She should have already disappeared.
I guess it's just as Hajime said.
At least, this wasn't the ending prepared for them. This was the ending they created.
Are you saying they're moving towards such an uncertain future on purpose?
Even so, the only thing we can do now is leave it to them. This game world is going to end soon. There is nothing more we can do.
Regardless, there's no need for us to do anything.
Yep, they're taking their leave. Done what we done what we did.
Man, it's collapsing.
You're right.
I am sorry to trouble everyone, but even if we awaken in the real world and forget about what transpired here, it will still have meaning, right?
Of course, Miss Sumi. I don't know the proper way to say this, but I kind of feel the same way too.
You're so bad at explaining.
You're so bad at explaining
Now that it's
things.
the end, you should at least try a little harder. People can't change that easily, you know.
Well, whether it has meaning or not, it all depends on us now.
Time's almost up.
I'm pretty scared.
I am scared too.
But it's okay, right? It makes sense to feel scared, right?
That's the future.
Oh, Neko's still there. Mini Maru.
Hey, I'll never forget you guys. Or the others. You guys better remember me too. My name is Kazuichi Soda.
With your colorful personalities, there's no way I'd forget you guys that easily.
Even if I forget, I will use all my might and remember.
If you start talking weird later, Hajime, I'll beat you up till you turn back to normal.
That's a relief. But make sure you hold back as much as you can.
We're getting out of here, huh? So this is the end. but it's just the beginning. Is that right? It doesn't change how scared I am. I can't help feeling scared. So scared, but...
Thank you. Thank you, Chiaki. Phew. I finally said it.
he finally said thank you. And there they go.
Me too. Thank you.
Aww.
I'll never forget about you guys. I'll never, ever forget. I'll be cheering for you guys from now on. From somewhere. 'Cause we're all friends after all.
Definitely. Game over. Game over. Chapter 6. Oh, it was cool. This is the end. Goodbye, Academy of Despair. The end. 5 survived. We have 5 students who survived. Oh, we got the phone. Giant cell phone. Cool. Top notch. Yeah, let's save that. Oh my goodness gracious. We were in the thick of it. I kid you not. Ooh, papito. Goofies, McGoofies. And so, the incident is coming to an end. The incident riddled with absurdity, with nonsense, with sheer irrationality, is about to lower its curtain. An incident smaller than Hope's Peak Academy's biggest, most tragic event. Smaller than the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. An incident so small, it doesn't even have a name. The world will never know what happened here. Not now. Not in the distant future. As long as they remain here.
Apparently they've finished the preparations. We can leave anytime.
Then, I guess we should get going.
Hey, Makoto. Is this really okay? You're the one who said, leave the questions to me, so I let you take the lead. Are they really going to be okay? Didn't they just turn back into ultimate despair?
I don't think that's the case. I mean, if they did turn back, they wouldn't have said that they'd stay on this island.
Perhaps they're thinking about helping their sleeping friends?
I can't really say for sure, but that's what I believe.
Whether they know it or not, the fact that they're already clinging to that feeling shows they're no longer who they were in the past.
It seems that there are too many soft-hearted people here.
But in reality, the possibility of those who are asleep waking up is close to zero.
No, the possibility isn't a problem. Even if there's the smallest possibility, they're still trying to create that future for themselves. In their eyes, that is the future.
The smallest possibility. You might as well call it a miracle.
Strangely enough, I have a feeling that they'll be able to reach it. They've accepted their hopes and their despair, and they're trying to create their own future. Maybe, for people like that, miracles are inevitable. Don't you think?
As cheesy as ever. Seriously, you haven't grown up at all.
Haven't grown up?
But yeah, he's sitting there listening to it, so he's not really downright denying it.
That's the main reason we decided to come with you.
Well, who cares? I guess I'll respect your decision. This time.
I love Byakuya. His yes and no attitude. Like, he is friends with them. He does care, but he cares in his own way. That's what I like about Byakuya. He is nice. It's just he has a weird way of showing it.
However, what comes next is going to be difficult for us.
Leaving them on this island. If the higher-ups at HQ find out about this, it will definitely cause a scene.
We need to work on concealing it.
That's not a problem.
And what do you intend to explain to HQ?
about that. I was gonna think about it while I was on the ship.
Good luck. I'm not going to help you that much.
Huh? Why?
You should at least be glad that we decided to respect your decision.
Fine.
Fine, you guys suck. Aw.
Then let's go back as well. We're not even close to finished yet. There's still a lot we must do. Besides the Future Foundation, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is not finished. We must end this once and for all, for the sake of the future.
It seems I must fight alongside you all for a little while longer.
Plus, there's someone waiting for you to return.
Don't make me remember something so horrifying.
He's talking about Toko. Don't make him remember that. He's like, oh dear God.
Then let's go. We must create our own futures too.
Dang, that's so cool. All right, I guess they're gonna be sticking around
And so,
for a while.
The ordeal has ended. And from here, our daily lives have started. Lives that are much more absurd, nonsensical, and irrational than before. Things are probably going to be a lot more difficult now. There's no such thing as an answered mystery. It's doubtful whether or not things will even end well. The future isn't a path. It's like an endless sea. You can try to go anywhere, but it doesn't mean you'll get there. Even so, I will keep on living. I will keep on living as Hajime Hinata.
Yeah, so they are staying on the island. They're staying on Jabberwock. Good job, Hajime.
My future lies here.
Epilogue. The day before the future. The day before the future. That's awesome. So yeah, Hajime, Sonya, Akane, Fuyuhiko, and Sota, they're staying on the island and creating their own future. That's good. That's good stuff. And that's it. We did it. We did it, guys. We beat Danganronpa 2. Oh man, that one was worse than the first one. Oh my lord. There were too many likable characters who died. I'm just saying. Oh man. I don't even have like what I can't say anything much about what happened either, because it was just so cool. Like each and every case was twisty. I'll give them that. Like, oh my god. And they all turned out to be people like I wouldn't expect freaking, you know, to do it. And the worst part is all the people I did like ended up dying. Oh, Gundam, no. Gundam, no. My boy. My boy. And Teru as well. Like, this sucks. This actually sucks. But hey, we did it for them, right? We did it for them. So good. But obviously, as should be obvious, we're not quite done yet with this freaking game. Not game, but series, I should say. We're not done with Danganronpa quite yet. We finished the first game. We now finished the second game. So that leaves us with 2 more games to complete in the titles, which I will get to sooner and later. So, whew. So, how you guys feeling after all this? After this entire game? I'm telling you, I feel drained. Like, as always, when it comes to these games, I feel drained as heck. This is the worst. Nagito, though. Ooh, Nagito. I still don't like you. I still don't like you. Now, I don't care how many times you show up on the screen and what you've done. You are not a favorite in my arsenal, bud. You're not. You lost all sorts of respect for me. Ibuki, though, you're cool. Ibuki is Ibuki. That's all Ibuki will ever be, is Ibuki. Fuyuhiko. I wouldn't expect him to survive either, if I'm gonna be honest. But he did. He held his own. He started off. Oh, Peko! Peko, love me. Don't leave me. Don't leave. I'm still. Look, I'm still going through it, alright? Just leave me be for a moment. I'm still going through it. I know I set my dues and all my mourning, but in reality, I still haven't gotten over it. Recording production. I think this is still on the Japan side. Ugh. Ugh. Look at that face. Danganronpa if. I don't know about that. No, Chiaki, no. Chiaki, no. But my gosh, she pulled through, as most gamers do. Gundam. Anything of Gundam is always just gonna be funny. He's just posing for the camera at that point. Like, he sees the camera, but he doesn't want to break his stance. So he's just like, I'm a pose, but try not to notice the camera. But he's making it quite obvious that the camera's being there. Oh, Hyoko, she's eating food. I don't think I've ever seen that, unless that's just a screenshot I never saw. Not Byakuya, not with the hungry eyes. His face filled the entire screen. Byakuya with the hungry eyes. That did not look like a good picture of Mahiru either. I'm sorry. No. Both of those were not right next to each other. That I'm okay with. That's to be expected with Ikan, though. Nekamaru Nidai. Mechamaru. Dang, he came back as a robot and ended up dying still. I am upset on that. The typefaces included herein are solely developed by Dynacomware. Fuyuhiko. Man, it was nice for like one glimpse that he had his eye back. It was. Becco. Becco, even in a mask, you're still beautiful. You still are. Come back. Just once. Teru's Mutta. So they all look like that. That's wild. But with her, she look cute. With her, she makes it look cute. Easter Monokuma. Usami. Monami. Dang, he took her out too. He was trying her best to protect everyone too. That's the funny part. Like, everyone was against her, but she was still doing her absolute best to protect everyone. She was trying. Like Chunsoft. Danganronpa. Yep, there's Monokuma. Aw. I know he said thank you. Probably saying thank you for playing. Or something like that. I know he said thank you. Ah! Got a thing. Easter egg. Huh. Alright. Wanna know what that is. Ooh, what's that? You obtained a present. Usami strap. Swanky. What does it do, though? Another thing. Danganronpa if. Go check that out. I don't know what any of this is. Sure. I guess we're done here. Yep, save it. Danganronpa. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, these two weren't unlocked. This is an alternate storyline where Monokuma lost against Usami. Oh, so, okay. An alternate storyline? Novel. You can read the light novel Danganronpa If, written by that amazing writer. Alright, okay, let me check my, not extras, yeah, actually, yeah, my extras. Ultimate Gallery. View bonus images. Huh? What? Oh, okay, it's just screen art. Alright, I want to see my prizes. I think I can see them right here, right? Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Easter egg. Proof that you cleared the epilogue. A monument bearing words of resolution. The following words are inscribed in the front. Goodbye, Academy of Despair. Giant cell phone. Proof that you cleared Chapter 6. A memento of Junko Enoshima. This hopelessly decorated cell phone will no longer reach anyone. Yikes. Gamer's backpack. Proof that you cleared Chapter 5. A memento of Chiaki Nanami. Apparently, it was a present from a certain gaming magazine. Oh. Hellhound Eerie. Proof that you cleared Chapter 4. Proof of being the top breeder. When it's worn by Gundam Tanaka, its true power shines through. The ultimate breeder. The nurse's apron. Proof that you cleared Chapter 3. Memento of Mikan Sumiki. It's soaked with the smell of medicine. I like how you just get the remains of the people who got executed. Black Dragon Blade. Proof that you cleared Chapter 2. A memento of Peko Pekoyama. The highest quality bamboo sword, this ancient and honorable weapon has been passed down through each generation of Pekoyamas. Alright. And then Chapter 1, a memento of Teru Teru Hanamura, is filled with the boasties and pride that have made countless gourmands roar with ecstasy. Okay, I just want to know what that stuff was. Okay, Danganronpa if. Usami Strap. An item that splits the world. There's a paradise waiting on the other end. This unlocks Island Mode, which is even more fun than the actual game. Alright, I'm gonna check out Island Mode real quick, and then probably that novel. Danganronpa. Okay, Island Mode.
Welcome to Dangan Island.
Dangan Island. Dangan Island. Oh, I remember this from the prologue, right? Ding 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 ding. Alright.
Hey. Can you hear me?
Adio. Yeah, it's the same stuff.
Are you okay? You seem pretty out of it. To be honest, I'm also... No, everyone else feels the same too. Since we suddenly got put in this weird situation. Hey, are you listening?
I'm awake, though. I don't understand. Why am I here? That's right. I was supposed to be at Hope's Peak Academy, but all of a sudden I was at a tropical island for some reason. And afterward, that's it. I remember now. There were 15 other students, and then a mysterious self-proclaimed rabbit mascot suddenly appeared. That's right, and I remember what that thing said. It said this was a school trip. Because my memories are fuzzy right now, it seems I don't remember my talent. And since I don't know what the heck's going on, I began collecting these things called Hope Fragments. Then... Can you hear me? Hey. Hajime. Who's talking to me? Ooh, different border. Huh?
Are you okay?
Are you okay? You know who I am, right? Yeah, you're Nagito, right?
I'm glad.
I'm so relieved. I thought you forgot about me.
How mean.
You suddenly started staring into space, and no matter what I said, you wouldn't respond. Sorry. What happened to the others?
I see.
Ah, that's right. We need to hurry. A weird thing suddenly appeared on the monitor and told us to go to Jabberwock Park. Usami and the others are already there. I wonder what's gonna happen this time. What's going on? A strange uneasiness filled us as we hurried over to Jabberwock Park. Alright. Yeah, hello. Up. Once we arrived, we heard Usami's scream echo throughout the area. Where are you? Where are you hiding? Ah, Mr. Monokuma.
Hey!
Where are you? Show yourself! So he's just popping up again. Oh man. But this is, it said it was alternate, so this is where apparently Monokuma lost to Monami.
Why, hello there! Thank you all for waiting! Long time no see, guys!
I am Monokuma, the headmaster of this academy. There you are! Cheerio! Yeah. Oh dang, she immediately lunged him. Take this! interrupt me till I'm finished. No questions asked. Ah. Stop! And now for the coup de grace. Usami final splash spark. Yep. Love and justice always wins in the end. I can't believe I lost to Usami. You're too noisy. Now that you learned your lesson, don't ever interfere with this school trip again.
Yahoo!
Okay. So he just left? And so the black and white bear-looking thing hobbled away. Dang, so he just left. Okay. He won. She won. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
The hell was that just now?
Starting to get pumped up.
What a heated battle. Just watching it got me pumped up. That was an epic performance. You're pretty good, Usami. Despite my looks, I'm your teacher. I'm supposed to protect everyone after all.
Let me ask.
That stick looks like some sort of exquisite blade. Do you intend to kill us with that now? Huh?
Could it be?
Or perhaps you intend to make us kill each other on this uninhabited island.
I see.
That might be necessary for survival. After all, food and water will eventually run scarce here. That's definitely not going to happen.
No problem.
Though in some ways you'll need to survive here, your lives aren't in any danger whatsoever. Can you even call that survival?
What? Are you
Jeez.
stupid?
What, are you Jeez, what are you guys talking about? There's no way killings are going to happen.
Awesome!
She's right. We're on a school trip at a tropical island, right? We should just make the most of it. As long as there's hope, I personally don't mind killing or being killed. Nagito, what are you?
For now, it seems that as long as we don't do anything strange, we're not in any danger. Right?
Also, we can leave the island as soon as we finish gathering the hope fragments, right? That's what I've been saying from the beginning.
What?
What? I didn't think you were serious about that.
Come on.
What is this school trip anyway? What are you trying to make us accomplish on this island?
I shall explain.
Alrighty, I shall announce it to everyone right now.
Hey!
While you are relaxed on this tropical paradise, you must get along and strengthen your bonds with each other. That's the main rule of this heart-throbbing school trip. Heart-throbbing school trip? Spend these peaceful and relaxing days nourishing hope and lazing about, free from pain, free from suffering.
Love, love.
And so, this lovey-dovey, heart-throbbing school trip starts right now. What the hell does that even mean? There's no way I can believe such a foolish... Love. Huh? Alright, now that that's decided, let's go swimming.
Alright.
I expected something like this would happen, so I took the liberty of wearing my swimsuit under my clothes.
Oh, what a coincidence. I did too.
Okay.
So did I. My loins are always ready to go. Wait, you guys, hold on.
Come on.
And it's a race to the ocean. Please wait.
Engines revving.
Engines revving. Yahoo! Seriously? Well, everyone's there again. A white sandy beach, crystal clear ocean. High school students enjoying themselves. This feels like a resort. There's no other way to describe it. I don't have to doubt this at all. And so, the curtain to our school trip has been raised. Yep, so, yeah, it's like everything was just like how it was in the very beginning. Monokuma got kicked out of the school. Hajime Hinata. Chiaki Nanami. Donya Nevermind. Akane Owari. Yoko Sayonji. Gundam Tanaka. Kazuichi Soda. Ahiru Koizumi. Hey, what kind of wild antics will happen on this island? Welcome to Dangan Island. Hey. Agito Komaweda and Teruteru Hanamura. Nekomaru Nidai. Ibuki Miyota. Peko Peko Yama. Mikan Sumiki. Fuyuhiko Kuzuryu and Byakuya Togami. Shooting the star. Get ready. It's gonna get silly. It's time for the heart-throbbing school trip. Hey. Alright, so what do we do here then? If that's the case. We kinda just did nothing. After we played to our heart's content, we listened to Usami and returned to the park once again.
I shall explain.
Okay, I shall now explain how everyone must spend your time on this long-awaited school trip.
You serious?
What the heck does that even mean? We can't just spend time playing around? So we're finally getting to the point. As I recall, you said we had to survive here. What does that mean?
That's right.
That's right, you have to survive. Everyone's goal is to collect all the hope fragments. So, from this point on, everyone on this island will cooperate and live together for 50 days.
50 days? That's a super long time. That long?
Come on.
Who cares about the length? More importantly, what do you mean by cooperate?
I mean the class goal.
Huh?
Class goal?
Got it?
In order to make everyone get along even more, I'll regularly ask you to work together to make things. Simply put, you guys will work together to create the item that I ask you for.
I don't want any trouble.
If we can't do it, are we going to, get punished?
That's...
Don't be absurd. There's no penalty for failing to make the item. In fact, if you achieve your goal, I'll give you something nice.
Alrighty.
Alright, let's try making an item now.
Alright.
Now then, the first goal I need to make is...
A flower pin.
right here.
A flower pin? What's that?
It's a hairpin made of pretty flowers. It's very lovely. Love, love. Please make one.
You say that, but what do we have to do?
You are right.
You are right. We do not have any sort of materials.
Got it?
You need to visit various areas of the island and gather the materials. Ah, but there's no need to worry. I've already gathered the materials you need for your first goal.
Alrighty.
Let's try a practice session first.
Yahoo!
So, here you go.
Tree vine, a knife, and glue. Yikes.
Please make a rope with this. Afterward, if you combine this with the rope, you'll be able to create a flower pin.
A green flower and a red flower and seashell. Got it.
Please bring it to me when you're finished. Try not to get distracted. Okay, have a nice day.
Alright. Oh, it's like the first game, actually. The first game had a school mode like this. And you had to, like, set tasks for people to, like, collect materials from different parts of the island, keep the, not the island, but the school, keep the school clean. Because there, in that story, they had to make Monokuma's backups to actually start the actual Danganronpa game in the first one, which is actually kind of cool. Okay, so it's the same stuff for here then. I could do that, probably on my own time though. I just wanted to see what it was. Processed goods, yeah, rope. And a Jabanana. I like that. A Jabanana. Okay, gold, flower pin. Pretty hairpin you can find anywhere. Alright, yep. Same stuff, same concept.
Okay, you did very well. I'll give you some tickets.
Oh, trip tickets, alright.
I'll carefully explain how they work later, so make sure you don't throw them away. How is it? Do you understand how to do it now?
This is too easy. Since it's not too difficult, we might be able to do this.
Nice work, everyone. Now then, please do your best to gather materials for next time.
Hey!
Even if you don't do it well at first, you'll get the hang of it with enough practice. However, please don't overwork yourselves. It's also important that you rest if you get tired.
Got it?
Also, make sure to keep your rooms clean. If they get too dirty, you'll have to do something unpleasant.
Yippee-ki-yay!
Yippee-ki-yay! The main goal of this school trip is to gather all the hope fragments before time runs out. Please don't forget that.
Alrighty!
Now then, here's your next class goal. The next goal is
Another fire pin.
the same thing. This time, please make it by gathering materials. I'll check in 5 days to see if you finished.
Alright. Yeah, so now they're throwing me into the actual game. Alright, so I just wanted to know what that is. I'll probably do this on my own time and just grind. Honestly, it was actually kind of fun doing it the first time, so yeah, I'll grind and I'll vibe on that in my own time. Very fun mode, not gonna lie. Because it's mostly just like free time, pretty much. It's like having free time having its own mode. Alright, I guess I'll get out of this and then... Danganronpa. Number 2, Goodbye Despair. Oof, Dangan Island. Okay, but here's what I want to do now. I want to check out this novel. You can read the light novel Danganronpa If, written by that amazing writer. Alright, novel. Ooh. The following novel contains references to characters who appeared in the novel Danganronpa Zero. Oh, okay. Danganronpa Zero is also another book, I guess? Alright, I gotta check that out too. Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc, If. The Button of Hope and the Tragic Warriors of Despair. Huh. The character introduction. Makoto. Oh, so, okay, it's from the first one. Makoto, the ultimate lucky student. Kiyotaka Ishimaru, the ultimate moral compass. Byakuya Togami, the ultimate affluent progeny. Hondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader. Alright. Leon Kawada, the ultimate baseball star. Ifumi Yamada, ultimate fanfic creator. And there's my boy, Yasuhiro Hagakure, the ultimate clairvoyant. Sayaka Maizono, the ultimate pop sensation. Yoko Kirigiri, the ultimate... But in the first game, we already know. She's the ultimate detective. Aoi Asahina, the ultimate swimming pro. Nice. Toko Fukawa, the ultimate writing prodigy. Sakura Ogami, the ultimate martial artist. Celestia Ludenberg, the ultimate gambler. Junko Enoshima, the ultimate fashionista. Hiro Fujisaki, the ultimate programmer. Bukuro Ikusaba, the ultimate soldier. Okay, so at least they actually have all actual stuff. He's a typical high school student with absolutely no remarkable talents or characteristics. He was randomly selected to attend Hope's Peak Academy from a pool of other unremarkable students. Yeah, so he got chosen. He was head of the Public Morals Committee at his previous high school, a noted college prep school. He's extremely strict toward lazy people and anyone who makes fun of working hard. Byakuya Togami. A member of the family which controls the Togami Corporation, an international mega conglomerate. As the heir to the family business, he was harshly raised to prepare for his duties, which would explain why he acts like the way he acts. Hondo Owada. At one point, he led the biggest biker gang in Japan. He's a classic rebel with a heart of gold, and has own strong sense of justice. He also has an undying admiration for his older brother. Leon. Despite his refusal to practice, he has enough natural talent that pro baseball scouts have already started courting him. Even though he's kind of obnoxious, it's hard to hate him. Yeah, he can be a bit loudmouthy. Ifumi Yamada. He has a certain charisma with the fanfic industry, and he is very proud of the following he's cultivated. At a local school festival, he sold over 10,000 copies of his latest creation, a stunning achievement by any measure. Dang. Yasuhiro Gakure. He relies on his own intuition to form his predictions, resulting in an accuracy rate of about 30%. He's been held back a few times. Yeah, this dude's 21. he's been held back a few. Sayaka Maizono. She's the lead singer in a world-famous pop group. Though she's darling of a generation, she's managed to maintain her sweet, down-to-earth nature. She's the only student at the school whose ultimate talent is unknown. She carries an intense beauty, but her past and thoughts are shrouded in mystery. Alright, Hina. She's a natural-born athlete. Her main focus is swimming, but at her old school, she also competed in volleyball, track, and more. She's a smiling, enthusiastic nature that helps keep the others in high spirits. Toko Fukawa. Despite her age, she's already a successful novelist. In actuality, she has a personality disorder that manifests itself as the serial killer personality known as Genocide Jack. Yeah, she's got 2 of them. Sakura Ogami. Her father taught her martial arts since she was a little girl, and now she's become the strongest human being on Earth. Yeah, she went like over 400 matches and hasn't lost one. She is wild. Celestia Ludenberg. Her petite Lolita appearance belies a haughty temperament and a sharp, caustic tongue. She's a master of deceit, and her face is utterly inscrutable. She is Japanese, in case you're wondering. Junko Enoshima. She is a charismatic model who graced the covers of the most popular youth fashion magazines. However, her true identity is... yeah, be careful with her. Chihiro Fujisaki. She's very quiet but has extraordinary talent when it comes to computers. Bukuro Ikusaba. A combat specialist who mastered handling various weapons. Ever since she was a child, she has had a special interest in mystery stories, and is completely engrossed by them. I love mystery novels, I do. I'm all about mystery. I love mystery. It's so good. Alright, well, I guess we'll read it. From the beginning. If Monokuma Theater. Monokuma's monologue, alright.
The world is full of ifs. If Adam hadn't tied the knot with Eve, society as we know it wouldn't have been born. The world that everyone lives in is just one outcome among countless ifs, and will continue to be muddled word overflowing with infinite ifs. If is what is miso soup, you know. What lies beyond this point is a scary world filled with iffy stepfathers who abandon their families. A Klein bottle where the inside and outside are filled with uncertainty. Ah, but don't break it, okay? It'd be so expensive that there's no way you'll ever be able to pay me back. But no matter how you look at it, ifs are simply worlds like any other. No matter how hypothetical the story may be, the future is the only thing that's truly foggy. And the past is more solid than a frozen banana. You can't change a conclusion that's already happened. Even if you see a world that may have existed, it wouldn't affect the people living in reality. Because if is only if, after all. Even if a parallel world exists where a particular if actually happened, humans cannot cross the boundary between worlds that easily. No matter how far if goes, it will always be a what if scenario. Do you really want to see that? You've got some sick interest. Don't you think that's an insult to Makoto and the others after the tragedy they overcame? No, as far as I'm concerned, I'll still insult them. If you're gonna look at if, I think it's better if you view the outside of the Klein bottle first. It might even be better if you view the ending of the video game called Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Try to play it multiple times and spend your free time with Junko Enoshima at least 3 times too. It may be ideal if you can collect all the items and movies too.
Which I actually did, funny enough. I did all of that on my own time. I actually 100% Danganronpa. You'd be surprised how many hours I put into it after I finished that game. Or after I finished the main story on my channel.
But if you guys have come this far, I'm sure you've already done that. Still, I'd buy the game if I were you. I'd actually buy at least 2 copies if I were you. The curtain lowers.
Oh, the curtain lowers. Okay, I think that's the narrator. Yeah, the curtain lowers. Trigger Happy Havoc, Danganronpa if. The Button of Hope and the Tragic Warriors of Despair. Alright. What should I do with this? Makoto Naegi was at a loss. Despite his hesitation, his situation was extremely simple and composed of 3 key factors. The first factor was that Makoto was currently locked inside a school. Hope's Peak Academy is a school for the privileged elite, and each student attending possesses ultimate talent. Makoto was chosen to attend Hope's Peak Academy by a lottery held to select the ultimate lucky student. When he arrived for his first day of school, he immediately lost consciousness, and when he woke up, he saw all the exits and windows had been sealed shut. The next factor was Monokuma, a mysterious robot bear being operated by the mastermind, and the announcement he made to all the students. "You'll be living your whole life in this academy," he declared. Or actually, I'll probably do it in their voices. "You'll be living your whole life in this academy," he declared. "If you want to leave, then kill someone and become the Blackened." This strange remote-controlled robot was telling Makoto to kill and his fellow Ultimates to start killing each other in exchange for their freedom. They learned that more than one Monokuma exists, and that each one contains a bomb to prevent anyone from attacking them. On top of that, Monokuma announced that everyone who attempted to harm him will receive punishment. The third and final factor was the red button that Makoto was currently holding in his hand. The words "escape button" were crudely written on this button in marker. And though its first two factors were certainly causes for panic, Makoto only seemed at a loss over the third. During his free time, Makoto noticed that the school store was open and his curiosity got the better of him. He was overwhelmed by the disjointed atmosphere upon entering, but his attention soon focused on a strange vending machine. The words "Mono machine" were written on it, and it seemed to accept the strange bear pattern coins they sometimes found inside the school. It seemed like a bad idea, but Monokuma thought there might be a chance that this machine— I keep saying Monokuma, didn't I? Monokuma, it's all about Monokuma now. But Makoto thought there might be a chance that this machine could dispense some way of escaping the school. And so, he inserted the only coin he had into the coin slot. And the result was this escape button mentioned earlier. There's a limit to how much you can tease us. Maybe the mastermind who trapped us in here is making a cruel joke. These thoughts filled Makoto's mind as he began to feel deeply discouraged. However, there's always a chance, right? Makoto was just an ordinary boy, and he only gained entry to Hope's Peak Academy through a lottery to find the ultimate lucky student. Maybe that luck was the real deal. If this button is real, maybe I can let Sayaka. Makoto took a deep, slow breath and pressed the button. Instantly, pain burst through his entire body. Makoto's arms and legs went limp as he lost his balance and fell to the floor in a crumpled heap. As he breathed heavily, it dawned on him what had just happened. I got electrocuted? He looked down at the button in his hand and noticed a small needle sticking out of it. Makoto quickly surmised that an electric current must have been running through it. After regaining enough of his strength to stand back up, Makoto thought about it once again. I should have known. It was a fake. Just how sick and twisted was the mastermind. My head still feels a little woozy. I should go back to my room and rest today. With that in mind, Makoto walked out of the school store with slow, careful steps. But Makoto didn't know yet. If the escape button really was a fake, it would have been an act of mercy from the mastermind. A small bear-shaped shadow began moving around inside the now empty school store. The shadow, Monokuma, stood before the Mono machine and stared at it silently. But after some time had passed, he began to laugh. A cold, hollow laugh utterly devoid of emotion. Despite the fact that he was alone, Monokuma began to talk, almost as if he was speaking to someone. Perhaps Monokuma was talking directly to the mastermind controlling him. I only put that in the Mono machine because I thought it'd be interesting if one of the last few survivors happened to win it. But with a success rate of 0.0000001%, I never thought anyone would actually win it. Perhaps I should have expected the ultimate lucky student to overcome such impossible odds. Monokuma started blushing and breathing heavily for no apparent reason. A robot like Monokuma doesn't need to breathe, but because his technology is super advanced, he can express himself like a living creature. Makoto was chosen through a lottery, and now he's won the escape button through a lottery. This is obviously impossible, right? Is this what a miracle is? Is this all systems go toward escaping? Is something that defies all common sense about to come crashing into my world? Well, even though I don't really want this at all, I'm starting to enjoy this new sensation. We'll be back after these commercials. Monokuma's internal machinery began running at full capacity, and his facial expressions began changing more smoothly than any humans could. Suddenly, His expressions immediately stopped, and he whispered through his speakers.
But is this really good luck?
After muttering something so ominous, Monokuma's loud screeching laughter rang jarringly throughout the room. The situation that was about to unfold contained two conflicting emotions in equal measure: hope and despair. Alright, well, white for hope, black for despair. The next day, nighttime. Student dormitory, Makoto's room. Alright, they're setting the scene, but even though we can see it right in the back there. Makoto Naegi lay on his head, desperately struggling with the despair and hope churning within him. Monokuma had forced the students to each watch a DVD earlier that day. Monokuma showed a scene that suggested his parents and little sister were in danger, and now he found himself determined to leave the school. It seems the other students were forced to watch shocking videos of their own. Videos so shocking that they were now determined to escape the school too, even if it meant sacrificing someone to do it. However, it was obvious that these videos were part of Monokuma's trap. As long as the student killed someone, they were allowed to graduate and leave the academy. It seemed that the mastermind controlling Monokuma was hell-bent on making the students kill each other. But right now, Makoto was the most worried about Sayaka Maizono, who seemed to be incredibly distressed after watching her DVD. Sayaka wasn't just the ultimate pop sensation, she was also Makoto's classmate when they were students at Blackroot Junior High. Her optimism had been encouraging Makoto these past few days, and he was becoming a similar source of strength for her as well. If nothing else, I had to at least say Sayaka. As soon as Makoto thought that, he suddenly felt a small headache. Was he still reeling from being punched by Mondo the other day? Or was this a side effect of being electrocuted by that escape button? As Makoto pondered these things, the pain slowly subsided and he returned to his determined thoughts of escape. Anyway, we all need to work together and... Huh? At that moment, Makoto realized his goal had changed slightly. We all need to? Ideally, it would be best if everyone survived together. However, aside from Sayaka, Makoto had never met the other students before. He didn't know if they could even be trusted in the first place. But at that moment, he trusted them without even an ounce of suspicion. He believed they were worth helping even at the cost of his own life. Just like Sayaka. Why? The headache struck again. As if all the blood vessels in his brain were being individually sliced open. Why did I just think that I could trust the others as much as I trust Sayaka? Makoto tried to figure out why his thought process had suddenly changed. Something was wrong. The throbbing pain in his head seemed to synchronize with a strange feeling that something was approaching him. As a ray of light began to form into the dark recesses of his own mind, the doorbell rang. Someone's here? He quickly got out of bed, but that only made his headache worse. With no concern for his safety, Makoto carelessly opened the door to his room and came face to face with Sayaka.
I'm really sorry to come by so late.
Sayaka? The pain. What are you doing out so late? The moment he saw her face, the pulsating pain in Makoto's head began accelerating. He felt like his world was being torn apart from the inside out.
Sorry to bother you, but something really weird just happened and... Makoto? What's wrong? You don't look so well.
Sayaka was pale and had been trembling when she came to Makoto's room, but she seemed surprised to see that his complexion was worse than her own. Yeah, I'm fine. It's just... my head. Makoto couldn't finish his sentence. His eyes rolled back into his head as he lost consciousness and slowly fell to the floor. And Sayaka's beautiful voice let out a scream as she stood over Makoto's body. Ooh, okay. And it's funny because at that moment, the whole DVD motive, that was literally Sayaka plotting to murder, but Makoto fainting, I think, prevented that. It prevented her from about to kill somebody. The next day, the nurse's office. You're finally awake. So, you're finally awake. Oh, you're awake. Hey, you okay? How many fingers am I holding up? As Makoto regained consciousness, he was greeted by the sight of fingers adorned with long fake nails being waved in his face. Okay, so that's Merkuro. Hey, you okay? How many fingers am I holding up? Huh? Huh? You're Junko, right? Hey, why do you sound so unsure? I'm a little shocked to hear you say that. Despite what she said, Junko Enoshima, the ultimate fashionista, was laughing as she found this all very amusing. Makoto looked around and realized he'd never seen this place before. It looked somewhat like a hospital. 3 beds, including his own, were lined up in the room, with various medical instruments laid out around them. The black ceiling felt strangely oppressive, but as he sat up, Monokuma, I swear, Makoto's mind immediately centered on one possibility. Where are we? Did we get rescued? That'd be nice, huh? She replied as she looked away. Junko explained that this was the nurse's office on the first floor of the academy. That Monokuma thing said I can't bear to see my precious students getting sick and opened this place up this morning. But don't you think it's suspicious? What if all these meds are poison? To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised. Makoto remembered his encounter with the escape button and let out a small sigh. So why am I here, Junko? You should thank Sayaka for that. She was here the whole night taking care of you. She was? Junko ignored Makoto's surprise and continued casually talking. But then Taka got all fired up and was like, we should take turns watching over him. I just happened to be on duty when you woke up. Well, and even then, only cause Byakuya ditched. I see. Thanks. Like I said, you should thank Sayaka. Anyway, how you feeling? Is everything alright? Huh? Makoto thought about it for a moment and remembered what he had been thinking about just before he lost consciousness. This is kinda weird, but... Actually, it's a really weird question, but... What's up? Junko. We've never met each other before, right? Upon hearing this, Junko's eyes widened. But for a few seconds later, she began to laugh. Huh? Are you for real? That pickup line is like, so totally played out, you know? Even though she was grinning, a serious look came over her face. Just so you know, you shouldn't expect anything like that from me. I know I look this way, but I take my virtue pretty seriously. No, I mean, I never expected. Well, that's what I figured. It's obvious that you're a total Omega male anyway. Makoto and Junko continued to talk to one another. Although he wondered why Junko was talking to him instead of leaving to get the others, Makoto didn't question it. He just wanted to talk to someone. Anyone. As long as he interacted with his fellow students, he would believe he would learn the truth about what was going on inside his head. 10 minutes later. Junko mostly talked about alpha males and omega males, her time being homeless, and about her past and her dreams about the future. The last topic was a lot heavier than the previous ones, but Makoto's calm demeanor seemed to cheer her up. She smiled sincerely and said softly, Thanks, Makoto. Maybe it was a sign of gratitude for listening to her troubles, but she kept that same smile as she blurted out something horrifying. In return, I promise that if I do decide to kill someone, it won't be you. Don't say scary stuff like that. At least that's what Makoto thought, but the words that came out of his mouth expressed a different sentiment. I see. Thanks. But I wouldn't want you to become the Blackened in the first place. For some reason, Makoto felt like the murderous words that came out of Junko's mouth seemed like a natural thing for her to say. She seemed very surprised by Makoto's response and quickly blurted out, Huh? Are you serious? I was just kidding. Huh? Oh yeah, of course. Sorry for acting so weird. No worries, let's just chalk this up to you being woozy from your recovery. She returned to her usual bubbly self, let out a big stretch, and turned to Makoto. I'm gonna get going now. Make sure you don't get killed before the next person arrives. After seeing her off, Makoto laid back down in the bed and started thinking to himself. What is this strange feeling? His dull headache continued as his thoughts began to blur. I was just talking to Junko, but I feel like I was talking to someone else. Who? Who is she? The more he thought, the more it felt like his memories were sinking into a thick swamp. Each throb of pain pulsing in his head felt like a wave on the surface of that swamp. What is this feeling? It felt very unpleasant, as though someone's voice was screaming at him from inside his head. Makoto tried to organize his thoughts and go over everything that happened to him, but he was interrupted by the sound of a bell. Unlike the dorm rooms, the nurse's office didn't have a doorbell. The bell sound that Makoto heard was ringing throughout the entire building. Ahem! Ahem! Testing, testing, mic check 1, 2. This is a test of the school broadcast system. It was Monokuma's voice. Now that Makoto has finally woken up, please assemble at the gym. Makoto listened to Monokuma's heartless order and got out of bed without complaining. I have to go. He walked one step at a time in accordance with the rhythm of his throbbing headache. Slowly, he walked forward, not knowing where he was headed was heaven or hell. Alright. Yeah, I guess that means chapter end, I guess. What chapter are we on? Like 3, 4? At this point? Alright, we're at the gym. The gym. Makoto, are you alright? Okay, that was Sayaka. Makoto, are you alright? Sayaka ran over to Makoto as soon as he entered the gym. Yeah, thanks. Sorry about yesterday. I guess I really worried you. Please don't apologize. I'm sorry too. I barged into your room when you weren't feeling well. Now that you mention it, said Makoto. What happened yesterday? Sayaka looked away for a brief moment, but immediately turned back, smiled her pop sensation smile, and shook her head. It's nothing. I'll tell you some other time. Huh? While they were talking, Kiyotaka Ishimaru, the ultimate moral compass, stepped forward, pointing an accusatory finger at Makoto. You're late, Makoto! Explain why you were tardy! The other students collectively raised their eyebrows, as if they were thinking, why is this guy yelling at someone who was sick? However, Makoto just smiled gently and answered him honestly. I didn't feel well, so I was resting in the nurse's office. Can you note that in the daily logbook? I see. That's consistent with my information. If that's the case, then I shall consider this matter settled. The conversation progressed smoothly, and Taka smiled as he kept talking. I'll take full responsibility for recording it. You just focus on recovering. If you ever feel ill, please report to the health committee. It seems like we'll need to appoint health committee members after this meeting, though. Taka walked away, mumbling to himself as he opened a daily logbook he found in the academy supply room. Celestia Ludenberg, the ultimate gambler, saw the whole conversation and walked up to Makoto. Despite his unreasonable behavior, you know exactly what to say to him. Huh? As soon as Celeste said that, it dawned on Makoto. It's true that he didn't feel well, that he had been resting in the nurse's office. But when Taka asked him why he was late, even though he should have already known the reason, Makoto didn't feel annoyed or disappointed at all. It's as if he expected Taka to say that. Makoto felt strange as he accepted Taka's personality so quickly. He couldn't understand why he asked Taka to do something so unnecessary as recording it in the daily logbook in the first place. Why did I say that? It's like I was used to it. His response to Taka's demands came as naturally as him breathing. Why? Why? Every time he tried to think about it, his headache grew even worse. As Makoto struggled to think through the pain of his headaches. A black and white stuffed animal jumped out from behind the gym's podium and began twirling around as he spoke in a cheerful voice. Hey guys! Is everyone here? He sounded like he was about to lead the students on a field trip, but not a single one of them had a smile on their faces. What is it this time? Are we gonna hijack a cruise ship and run— oh, what is it this time? Are we gonna hijack a cruise ship and run into a gigantic worm? Of course, there was one exception. Yasuhiro Hagakure, the ultimate clairvoyant, still believed that their current situation was some kind of planned event. Oh, okay, Hiro said that, not Monokuma.
What is it this time? Are we gonna hijack a cruise ship and run into a gigantic worm?
Monokuma just ignored him and continued to address the students with his adorable voice.
Today, I'm gonna tell you about our wonderful academy system. System sure sounds like a great word, don't you think? It reeks of danger, just like a bear. I want you all to trample over the deaths of your friends and grow up to have hardened hearts. It's good to be a little naughty. I want you all to grow poisonous personalities. After making his nonsensical introduction, Monokuma moved on to the next topic. With this, he began providing a detailed explanation of the most vile system in the school. The class trial. Now, you can't just kill someone. You gotta kill someone without anyone else finding out you did it. Monokuma talked about this horrible graduation program with casual indifference. But because the killing hadn't happened yet, his lecture didn't instill any despair in the students. As long as the killing never occurred, there'd be no point to a class trial. But no one could really say that a killing wasn't going to happen. As the students' suspicions began to rise, Monokuma continued explaining the class trial until— wait, hold on a second. As Monokuma began to explain the executions that would serve as punishment, one girl stepped forward. Junko? As soon as he saw how angry she was, the rhythm of Makoto's headache began to change slightly. You're freaking insane, you know that? The girl continued to complain angrily. She seemed completely different from the smiling person Makoto saw in the nurse's office. Huh? Was Junko always like that? No, she's different. That's how Junko acts, but— is that person really Junko? Huh? Wait, what am I thinking? As Makoto struggled with his headache and confusion, Monokuma and the girl continued to argue. What? Are you saying you're not gonna participate in the trial? Only punishment awaits such blasphemy. What? Punishment? I might, I don't know, throw you in a deep, dark, scary prison or something. Different. The strange feeling he felt was now directed at Monokuma. Prison? No. They aren't that kind. A series of images flashed in Makoto's mind, and at first he thought it was some kind of parade. But he quickly realized that it was a mistake. What looked like lights were actually buildings engulfed in flames. The red decorating this scene seemed to have become from human bodies. Despair. It wasn't confined to the academy, or even to Japan. Images of worldwide death and destruction flooded Makoto's brain with every throb of his headache. I've seen this before? Besides the indescribable violence taking place in all these images, there was one thing they had in common. Who are they? They're rampaging terrorists wearing black and white masks were wreaking havoc in these images. They took everything: money, valuables, lives, families, dignity, the past, the future, and possibly even hope. The masks these terrorists were wearing perfectly resembled the face of the stuffed animal arguing with the student before him. Shut the hell up. Do whatever you want. I'm not gonna be a part of this. Don't be so selfish. You're the one being selfish. Kill whoever you want. It's got nothing to do with me. The evil standing here before me. I'm trembling with fear. But I won't give in to such evil. It's my style to stick it out and resist till the very end. If you really want to get out of here, you'll have to go through me first. Monokuma swung his arms wildly as he charged at the girl with waddling steps. But the girl stomped on the self-proclaimed headmaster of the academy with ease.
Are you enjoying yourself now? Pinned beneath the girl's foot, Monokuma looked up into the girl's cold eyes and calmly asked, Are you? Huh? Violence against Headmaster Monokuma is not allowed. You violated a school regulation. At that moment, a chill ran down Makoto's spine. He's going to get killed. Monokuma's words sounded very threatening to him. It wasn't a prediction or a guess. It was as if he knew the danger Monokuma posed from the start. If this continues, Junko's going to... His mind still didn't fully grasp the situation unfolding in front of him. By the time he realized he was about to remember something, he was already running forward. Junko? The impact of his feet combined with the rhythm of his headache sending his brain and heart into a panic. No, she's different. She's... I invoke the mighty summon spell. Help to me, godly spear, Gungnir. Monokuma wiggled beneath the girl's foot and let out a scream. At that exact moment, Makoto charged at her and screamed out. Mukuro, watch out! Huh? The girl addresses Junko and Ashima widened her eyes in shock. As if to evade the charging Makoto, she jumped back with agility unheard of in a teenage high school girl. And then, right at that moment, countless spears pierced the spot where she had been standing just a split second ago. All the students, including the girls, stared wide-eyed at this sudden turn of events. Spears, too many of them to count, had shot out with blinding speed from mechanisms installed on the floor and the walls of the gym. However, Makoto was unable to notice this. Huh? Why did I call Junko Mukuro? Mukuro? As that thought entered his mind, a sharp sudden impact struck his side, followed by an intense deathly pain that ran down his spine and spread throughout his entire body. The spear stabbed into his side, instantly tore his flesh to shreds, and shot out his back coated in blood and other bodily fluids. At that moment, the black fog that engulfed Makoto's mind was consumed by death itself, and his consciousness slowly faded. He remembered everything. Because of the electric jolt and the chemical compound from the escape button, because of that button that he found by chance, Makoto Naegi managed to escape. He escaped this hopeless game where he and his fellow students had their memories stolen and were forced to kill each other. Of course, that escape was also what led him to this current life or death predicament. In the end, perhaps only he escaped from one despair to fall into another. But at the same time, his actions had unintended consequences for one person. The girl living a false identity as her beloved little sister, Junko and Ashima. Mukuro Ikusaba, the ultimate soldier and a member of Ultimate Despair. Her past, her future, perhaps even her hope itself, are on the path to despair. Dude, okay, so yeah, during this part, Mukuro actually did die, but in this scenario, Makoto pushed her out the way, or told her to move, but then Makoto got stabbed. Interesting. I'm liking this. Hopefully you guys are liking this too. And so, the curtain falls on Makoto's story for now. From this point, this story is about a certain girl. A girl who's more pitiful than anyone else in this sealed-off academy. A new curtain, along with new despair, shall now rise. Alright, so now it's going on Mukuro's POV. Alright. Okay, I'm down with it. Huh? Time had certainly stopped for Mukuro Ikusaba. It was as if everything around her had frozen perfectly still. In the past, she was known as the Ultimate Soldier. She had experienced this feeling before, during her time with the mercenary group Fenrir. In situations where she was surrounded by a hopeless member of enemies within the jungle or in a desert ruin, The charging enemies seemed as though they were frozen in time, which allowed her to claim a decisive victory in all her battles. But this wasn't a battlefield, so why did this familiar sensation activate once again? In order to understand what had happened, Mukuro slowly tried to assess the current situation from within this frozen world. Junko and Mukuro are both children of despair. But Junko Enoshima, the true ultimate despair, harbors a far deeper darkness within her. Though their last names are different, Mukuro is Junko's older sister, connected by bonds of blood. She cooperated with Junko's hopeless plan and impersonated her under the pretense of participating in this killing game, along with her classmates. According to the plan, Mukuro was supposed to oppose Monokuma, who her sister was controlling, and to be locked in a dungeon as punishment. Isolated from the others, she would then escape the dungeon and perform various acts intended to deprive the students of hope. That was the role she had been assigned. When Makoto succumbed to his headache, Junko ordered to see if the shock had caused him to remember anything that could make him a liability. He woke up as she was tending to him, so she made small talk with him, but she didn't notice any change in behavior. Until this point, she was certain that there shouldn't be any problems. Nothing could possibly go wrong. She stomped on Monokuma like her sister ordered her to do and flawlessly spoke the lines she was taught to memorize. Afterward, she would fall through a trap door into the dungeon and remain isolated from the other students. That was her role. She hadn't done anything wrong. There were no problems. There were no problems. She repeated that to herself over and over like a silent prayer. But in that frozen moment in time, what she saw was not a trap door, but countless spears. One of them had skewered Makoto through his side. Why? Makoto? Why are there spears? Gungnir? I would have died if I hadn't moved. Did Junko mess up the plan? No, Junko would never mess up. Was she trying to kill me? Me? Makoto saved me? Why? Why did he say my name? Did his memories come back? Did I not realize that? Did I make a mistake? Is that why Junko got angry? Is this punishment? Is it my fault? Junko tried to kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Slowly, time came back to her world. Mukuro could feel her face turning pale as she slowly looked toward Makoto. The students' screams rang throughout the gym. Saigo was probably the first one to scream. But who screamed first didn't matter to Mukuro. Makoto. Why? Makoto was the ultimate lucky student. He had been her classmate for the past 2 years, and now he was a sacrifice to despair. Not long ago, he had given her an answer of sorts during their conversation in the nurse's office. He was just a pawn in the plan that her sister had devised. But now, a feeling of doubt began forming in Mukuro's mind. What did I want from Makoto? As her heart churned restlessly, she continued to think. In return, I promise that if I do decide to kill someone, it won't be you. Was I impersonating Junko then? Or did I really mean that? When did I start feeling this doubt? Just now, the moment he saved me? Or when we spoke in the nurse's office earlier? Or when I first confronted him about this killing game before his memories returned? Or was it before even that? Mukuro stood there confused and overwhelmed as Makoto slowly opened his eyes, the spears still impaling him through the side. Mukuro? Makoto, are you okay? Mukuro was no longer impersonating the ultimate fashionista. Looking up from the floor of the gym, Makoto asked, Why are you dressed up like Junko? He was smiling. Maybe he couldn't feel the pain anymore, or maybe he was being affected by something else. But regardless, Makoto ignored the fact that he was dying just to give Mukuro his warm smile. I'm glad. I'm glad you're safe, Mukuro. As soon as he heard Makoto's weak fading voice, something inside Mukuro snapped. From within the shell of despair she had built up, an intense emotion began flowing out. No, this is all wrong. She couldn't hold back that emotion any longer. No. No. And for the first time in her entire life, Mukuro unleashed a scream into the world. Dang. Oh, this is wild. I'm into it. Like I said, hopefully you guys are into this right now too. It's like an audiobook. As Mukuro fell to her knees and clutched her head, a small shadow started walking toward her back. The stuffed animal that had been under her foot, Monokuma. His claws were extended and he was no longer walking with his usual waddle. Instead, he moved like a beast, silently stalking his prey as he slowly advanced within his target's blind spot. As he inched closer to Mukuro, Monokuma raised his razor-sharp claws, crouched on his haunches, and suddenly leapt toward the back of her neck. However, just before those claws could reach the paralyzed Mukuro, a dark shadow moved in from the side and swatted those claws away with one blow. His lunge deflected, Monokuma was sent flying through the air, spinning wildly before crashing into the wall. Damn you! What are you trying to do? Oh, okay, that's Sakura. I thought it was Monokuma. Damn you! What are you trying to do? Sakura Ogami, the ultimate martial artist, had just prevented another tragedy. She stood before Monokuma and addressed him in a loud, booming voice. Not only did you attempt to kill Junko for violating school regulations, you even attacked Makoto, who had nothing to do with this. If you plan to continue acting in such a savage manner, there is no reason for us to play along with your game. Byakuya Togami, the ultimate affluent progeny, smirked condescendingly at Sakura. Fool. One could say you now violated school regulations with your senseless actions. He looked as if he honestly did not care if his fellow students lived or died at all. Okay, I need to know who this is. Well, she merely deflected the headmaster's attack just now, so I don't think it truly counts as an act of violence. Oh, okay, so that was Celeste. Well, she merely deflected the headmaster's attack just now, so I do not think it truly counts as an act of violence. Like Byakuya, Celeste seemed unfazed as she chided him over his words. However, the banter between the two was enough to stir the stunned students into action. Makoto! Saiga was the first one to run toward Makoto, who lay bleeding from his stomach. But Monokuma stopped her, shouting in a tone of voice that seemed completely out of character. What? Be careful! Don't get close to those two! Huh? Startled by Monokuma's desperate tone, Saika and the others stopped moving almost instinctively. The students looked around at each other. Instead of his usual playful gait, Monokuma walked towards them with deliberate, methodical steps. And then, he suddenly blurted out something that took everyone, including Mukuro Ikusaba, by surprise. I'm sure you're probably confused by this sudden turn of events, but I want you guys to work together! As Mukuro slowly turned her head toward Monokuma, he pointed at her and yelled. Mukuro Ikusaba and her accomplice Makoto Naegi are the terrorists responsible for locking you inside the academy! Once again, time stopped for Mukuro. But this time she wasn't the only one affected. Everyone seemed to be frozen in shock. After a few seconds of silence, Aoi Asahina, the ultimate swimming pro, spoke first. Huh? You're kidding, right? I mean, Makoto is a terrorist? That's impossible. And who's Mukuro anyway? I mean, that's Junko. Monokuma began slowly explaining to Aoi. The real Junko must be in prison somewhere in this school. Worst case scenario, she might get killed. Mukuro must have researched which one of you would be easiest for her to impersonate and hid among you all by pretending to be her. She was probably trying to make sure the killing game went smoothly. Suddenly, Monokuma's hands and feet began jerking in an awkward motion as he looked at the other students and introduced himself.
I'm Bishiki Madarati, the ultimate hacker. I'm your upperclassman. I hacked into the academy from the outside, and I was finally able to take control of Monokuma's body just a little while ago.
Take control? From who?
From the head of the terrorist organization that's controlling this robot from the outside.
What? What are you saying, Junko? Mukuro trembled as she heard the words coming out of Monokuma's mouth. For a brief moment, she clung to the hope that her sister wasn't trying to kill her, but as soon as that hope was born, it was immediately consumed by despair. Junko had the power to transform hope into despair. She would never let anyone hack her that easily. There was only one explanation. Junko Enoshima was pretending to be someone named Bishiki in order to frame Mukuro and Makoto. It was as though Junko was using Mukuro's survival as a branching path to lead the students to a different despair. Monokuma continued talking, telling the students more lies designed to prod them to action.
On your first day at Hope's Peak Academy, you guys were exposed to sleeping gas, knocked unconscious, and taken hostage. Mukuro and Makoto are probably the only operatives that the terrorists sent inside the school. That means they probably know how to escape from here.
And then, Monokuma turned to face Mukuro.
Mukuro Ikusaba was a member of the mercenary group called Fenrir. She's a wanted criminal who's killed over 10 people associated with the school. So don't get soft and think you can capture her alive. In fact, that's exactly what the cops told me, so the moment I saw an opening, I tried hacking the trap they set that tried to kill her.
But what about Makoto? Monokuma gave a cold, emotionless answer to Sayaka's question. Okay, that was Sayaka.
But what about Makoto? My guess is that a measly ultimate lucky student didn't stand a chance of defying a group like Fenrir. He was probably threatened or forced to cooperate before you entered the school, or judging from his earlier actions, maybe Mukuro seduced him.
Sayaka's face went pale when she heard that answer, and she immediately stopped talking. Mukuro raised her head and shouted, "You're wrong. Makoto isn't a terrorist. You all have to believe me." The whole gym fell silent. And then, as if he was speaking for everyone there, Taka stepped forward and nervously asked, "Hold on. What do you mean Makoto isn't a terrorist?" It sounds like you're saying that there's no doubt that you, in fact, are a terrorist. I ask that you correct yourself at once and say we are not terrorists. Celeste began expressing her own doubts as well.
It is strange. Does it not seem odd that she is so protective of someone we all just met a few days ago?
Mukuro stood in silence. The other students' faces began to fill with suspicion and doubt as they realized they weren't looking at the real Junko Enoshima. Byakuya pushed up his glasses and began coldly pointing out what seemed out of place to him. I heard that fool Makoto, or whatever his name is, call you Mukuro instead of Junko. How would Makoto know that your name is really Mukuro if he just met you not that long ago?
That's...
I've also heard of Fenrir, continued Byakuya. As I recall, its members have a tattoo somewhere on their body. Instinctively, Byakuya's words put Mukuro into a calm state of mind. In hostile situations, her defensive reflexes as the ultimate soldier often manifested themselves. Mukuro's tattoo was on the back of her right hand. He wondered how she could hide this from the other students without also calling attention to it. But in the end, this concern was in vain. If the police's records are true, she should have a tattoo on the back of her right hand. As Monokuma freely divulged that information. "Alright," cried Taka, his voice filled with enthusiasm. "Show us the back of your right hand and prove your innocence." Monokuma dispensed another unnecessary remark.
Make sure you look real close. She might have covered it up with foundation.
Junko had ordered Mukuro to hide her tattoo with foundation, so Monokuma's information was entirely true. There was nothing Mukuro could do except stay quiet. However, she wasn't staying quiet because her identity was about to be exposed. She was struck by the realization that her sister was completely serious about pinning this on her.
Why the hesitation? Shouted the foolishly honest Taka. As my classmate, I have complete faith in you.
From behind him, Hifumi Yamada, the ultimate fanfic creator, murmured to himself as cold sweat ran down his cheeks.
Well, look at that. I guess this is what they call a checkmate, huh?
Why don't you just fess up already, you fucking bastard?
In contrast to Hifumi, Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader, was royally pissed. However, there were some students who were busy questioning Monokuma instead of Mukuro.
Hey, you're not coming to save us? Shouted Leon Kawada, the ultimate baseball star. You should hurry up and charge in here already.
Monokuma looked at Leon and shook his head softly.
The police can't help you right now. Not only are you guys hostages, it's possible that the entire school has been rigged with explosives and poisonous gas. I hacked into this Monokuma robot to investigate that for myself. And what about everyone on that DVD? What about everyone outside the school?
Asked Sayaka. The memory of the DVD she was forced to watch yesterday still weighed heavily on her mind, but Monokuma didn't have a clear answer.
I don't know anything about any DVDs, but there are definitely terrorists causing havoc out there. Law enforcement around the world is in shambles trying to deal with this.
That's impossible.
That's impossible.
Sayaka shuddered and collapsed to her knees.
Sayaka.
Next to her, Chihiro Fujisaki, the ultimate programmer, was unsure about what she should do. Behind her, two other girls stood silently. The first was Toko Fukawa, the ultimate writing prodigy. She seemed to be trying very hard not to look at Makoto as he lay bleeding. The other was a quiet girl who hadn't talked about herself much named Kyoko Kirigiri. Unlike Toko, Kyoko was watching everything intently, as if she was trying to study the scene of a crime. From Makoto's breathing patterns to subtle changes in Mukuro's facial expression, nothing was escaping her attention. Suddenly, Toko began nervously talking to Sakura.
So anyway, let's just say that Mukuro woman is, or whoever over there is a terrorist. Hurry up and beat her to death or something.
We don't know that yet, said Sakura. My fists do not mete out justice based on simple speculation. Sakura tried to get near Makoto to examine his wounds, but Monokuma stood in her way shouting,
"Don't come any closer!"
This meant that Mukuro was the only one who could get close to Makoto. She had countless lives on the battlefield. She knew from experience. If she didn't treat Makoto's wounds, he would die. His wounds were not immediately fatal, but if he continued losing blood, he would eventually slip into shock and die shortly thereafter.
Please, you need to treat Makoto first.
Absolutely not, said Byakuya, harshly interrupting Mukuro. Tying you up and examining the back of your right hand is our first priority.
Hey, Makoto's in danger. Now's not the time for that.
Oh, that was Hina. It usually says it after the fact.
Hey, Makoto's in danger. Now's not the time for that,
said Aoi as she cast a worried glance at Makoto. She was still having trouble understanding the situation and hadn't decided if Makoto was suspicious or not. Byakuya was about to snap back at her, but Mukuro's actions stunned him into silence. He took a deep breath, then Mukuro removed the blonde wig from her head. Where there were two long blonde pigtails only a moment before, there was now short black hair. She cleared her face of all emotion. When she spoke, her voice rang throughout the gym. I'm not Junko Enoshima. My name is Mukuro Ikusaba. The students stared wide-eyed at her open confession. All she did was remove her wig and clear her emotions. but in doing so, the person the students had recognized as Junko Enoshima vanished from their sight. The terrorist that had taken her place continued to speak in a calm, stoic tone. I helped lock everyone inside this academy. The confession on a seaside cliff moment has finally— oh, that's Hifumi. The confession of a seaside cliff moment has finally arrived, Hifumi blurted out. Wigs are against school regulations, Junko! I mean, Murkuro, shouted Taka. As if stirred by their cries of excitement, the other students began clamoring among themselves. Huh? Said Yasuhiro. So Makoto's wounds are like real? Does that mean all that stuff about terrorists and whatever is all real too? So everything that's happened these past few days wasn't a bunch of staged events? As the reality of the situation began dawning on Yasuhiro, all Leon could say to him was, "Shut the hell up." Byakuya just remained calm and addressed Mukuro in a condescending manner. What does your group want? If you were after money, you would have already tried to negotiate with me. Of course, I'd rather let them die than surrender to your ransom demands. Our purpose is to fill the world with despair. Byakuya scoffed at this notion and began to speak once again. I see. Monokuma said something similar, though that ideology is what fuels your terrorism. It's true, if you did anything to me, you would certainly fill the world with despair. But obviously that would be impossible for you. Aoi couldn't believe what Byakuya was saying, and frowned as she muttered. How self-centered can you be? After confirming that Byakuya had no more questions for her, Mukuro looked at Makoto, whose breathing had slowed, and let her voice show some emotion. But Makoto has nothing to do with this. You can't believe what Monokuma says. What did you say, bitch? Shouted Mondo. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're a terrorist, just like Monokuma said. Mukuro looked away from Mondo and continued speaking. That's true, but Makoto isn't involved at all. Celeste coldly brushed her objection aside. I do not think trying to protect him will do you any good. After all, we heard Makoto call you by your real name. That's... She had no words. There was nothing she could say to protect Makoto. Even though Makoto was truly innocent. Though Mukuro was the ultimate soldier, her powers were largely limited to battle. Even a normal high school student could outwit her when it came to debate and negotiation. If she were the ultimate negotiator, she might be able to convince them that their memories had really been erased. But in her current situation, if she tried to bring up their memory loss, they would think it was a desperate excuse. Even Mukuro knew that. But even if she didn't know what to say, she still knew what to do. Right now, we need to treat Makoto first. And then she started walking toward Makoto as if nothing had happened. To the others, it seemed like Mukuro had decided to abruptly change the subject. Hold it. We will immediately take Makoto to the nurse's office for treatment. However, we must tie you up. Okay, Sakura. Hold it. We will immediately take Makoto to the nurse's office for treatment. However, we must tie you up. That was Sakura's honest demand. But there was no way Mukuro could accept it. If she was separated from Makoto, there'd be no telling what Monokuma would do to him. And between Mondo's hot temper and Byakuya's cold heart, Makoto could easily sustain further injuries under the pretense of interrogation. Furthermore, among these students, Mukuro knows she was the only one who had experience treating wounds due to her time with Fenrir. After mulling that over, she narrowed her eyes and went silent. Her mind was made up. She was determined to fight her way out of here and escape with Makoto. I apologize, but I need you all to fall asleep right now. As she said that, Sakura instantly positioned herself behind Mukuro. Oh, okay. I thought it was Mukuro, the other way around. I apologize, but I need you to fall asleep right now. As she said that, Sakura instantly positioned herself behind Mukuro. She was completely within her blind spot. To a normal person, it would have seemed like Sakura had suddenly vanished. After moving faster than any human being could see, Sakura's equally fast hands launched a blow toward the back of Mukuro's neck. However, sorry Sakura, but I need to get out of here. Mukuro parried Sakura's fist with a spinning roundhouse kick. Ugh. Sakura raised an eyebrow at the unexpected counterattack. Mukuro tried to use the momentum of her kick to sweep Sakura's feet out from under her. However, Sakura dodged and instinctively struck back against Mukuro's pivot leg. But Mukuro was faster and jumped up, aiming a tornado kick at Sakura's chin. Sakura deflected the attack with one arm, then both combatants leapt backwards, glared, and charged simultaneously. Every blow they dealt was parried and countered by the other, and though they were both unarmed, the sound of their battle echoed throughout the gym. It was like a typhoon had been compressed to the size of a car and set loose inside the gym. The other students were powerless to stop them. All they could do was stare at the breathtaking dance of death unfolding before them. After 10 minutes had passed, the enormous sound of one final impact rang throughout the gym. The two warriors leapt back once again, and breathed heavily as they stared each other down. My mistake. Though it's only been a few days. I cannot believe I did not notice such an impressive fighter was hiding among us. In addition to the surprise Sakura felt, it was as if the battle had left her energized. Mukuro, on the other hand, looked down at her arm, confirmed it had been wounded during the battle, and thought to herself, she's strong. I don't think Sakura's even taking this seriously right now. Despite being constantly surrounded by firearms, blades, traps, and explosives during her time with Fenrir, this was the first time she'd ever been wounded. Mukuro was powerless before the might of the woman known as the ultimate martial artist, and the strongest woman in the world. Just as I thought, I can't beat Sakura with my bare hands alone. If she had been directly ordered to kill Sakura, Mukuro would have opted for either a sniper from a distance or poison her. At this close range, she would need an assault rifle just to stand a fighting chance. I don't have time for this. She looked at Makoto and confirmed that his breathing had grown even shallower. I need to hurry. But at that moment, she had no one to turn for to help. Suddenly, Mukuro had an idea. It was true that gaining an ally in this situation was impossible. However, she could still turn one person into her enemy's enemy. Mukuro took a deep breath before she charged at Sakura. Then she immediately fainted and charged at a different girl. Toko, who had been cowering in fear from the battle between Sakura and Mukuro in the corner of the gym. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, okay. Sakura again. Ugh, this is bad. Sakura was caught off guard and tried to run after her, but Mukuro was one step ahead and reached Toko first. Huh? Why me? I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Mukuro jabbed Toko in her solar plexus and she fell into her arms. Taka and Aoi yelled out in shock. This is bad. She plans to use Toko as a hostage. Toko! In contrast to their shocked faces, Byakuya just snickered and coldly remarked, You fool. Do you really think we care if you take someone we just met a few days ago as your hostage? Mukuro just softly glanced at Byakuya and replied, You didn't meet her a few days ago. What did you say? You met her 2 years ago. Byakuya scowled. Mukuro ignored him and held her bloody arm in front of Toko's face. And then, she yelled into her ears. Wake up, Genocide Jack! It seemed so random and out of place. Why would Mukuro mention the name of a notorious serial killer right now? The students looked at each other with confusion when suddenly, Toko, who had been groaning in pain, suddenly kicked off of the floor of the gym with renewed vigor. He leapt into the air much higher than any normal human she should have been able to. While hovering several meters in midair, Toko twirled faster than a professional figure skater. This caused her skirt to flutter, revealing multiple pairs of sparkling scissors. Countless tally marks were scratched onto her legs, like a kill count carved into a fighter jet. If not for this situation, Toko's glamorous jumps and spins would have been a sight to behold. The girl formerly known as Toko Fukawa cackled wildly, her red eyes sparkling as her absurdly long tongue flopped out of her mouth. You called for me and so I appeared. I got a murder IOU for YOU. Toko? The situation had changed so drastically that even Sayaka, who was silent until now, spoke up. Hey, you flash in the pan. Don't treat Genocide Jack like that depressing little four eyes. That dirty girl didn't bathe herself at all, so I gotta put in 5 times the effort to rub myself down in the shower. Toko's sudden change of personality sent the students clamoring among themselves. Hey, Leon yelled. What the hell does that mean? Monokuma just shook his head. There are some things even I don't understand. The students continued to panic at the strange turn of events. Toko, now calling herself Genocide Jack, took out a set of scissors from under her skirt and snipped them with glee as she looked around the gym. Huh? Man, it's been a while since I've got to stretch my legs. What were you guys gonna do here at the gym while I was snoozing away? Have an orgy? I understand. I totally understand. You guys need me to cut up your clothes so you can feel even naughtier. Yeah, right. Why the hell would I do that for you dumbasses? My scissors are only meant for cutting the supple, tender flesh of adorable boys. Genocide Jack was causing a ruckus, but when she saw Makoto lying on the floor, she tilted her head once again. Huh? Big Mac, you're like, totally about to die. What's the deal? Did the world fill you with so much despair that you all came here to commit mass suicide? It's so hot! But why are you starting without me? Toko? cried Aoi. Get a hold of yourself! Genocide Jack ignored Aoi and let her emotions run unchecked, jumping and dancing with excitement as she held her scissors. Ah, jeez, I want to stab Big Mac's side myself. This spot right here where the ribs are kind of showing already. He's not even screaming right now, though. What does this mean? Oh well, maybe I can just use this feeling of alienation instead. I have no idea what's going on anymore, shouted Yasuhiro. This is all the aliens' fault! Yasuhiro buried his head into his arms, but no one was paying attention to him. The students' attention was entirely focused on Genocide Jack. Using that to her advantage, Mukuro began sneaking over to Makoto. As she cautiously picked him up, she confirmed that his body temperature was starting to decrease. I can still make it in there in time. Though she was carrying another person, Mukuro would manage to soften the sound of her footsteps as she ran for the gym's doors. By the time the students heard Mukuro open the door, it was already too late. He had managed to escape the gym with Makoto. However, not everyone was unaware of what Mukuro was doing. Monokuma saw her movements out of the corner of his eye, but chose not to tell the students. And one other person, Yoko Kirigiri. He saw Mukuro carry Makoto away, but did not inform the others as she watched them leave in silence. As everyone wrestled with their own personal thoughts and speculations, Hopes Peak Academy began walking a path toward a completely different chaos. Ooh, I like this. Okay. Just had to drink some water. Maybe after like one more chapter, maybe. I don't know how long I can keep this going. With Makoto on her back, Mukuro took several trophies from the gym entrance hall, and after passing through the door leading to the hallway, she jammed the trophies through the door handles. Though Sakura could easily destroy these makeshift locks, they should buy Mukuro a few extra seconds. Then Mukuro started running over to the nurse's office, the place she last spoke to Makoto. Everything necessary for performing first aid could be found there. Her little sister was her enemy. Her fellow Ultimate students were her enemy. Her only ally right now was Makoto, who was on the verge of death. Mukuro knew that even she wasn't her own ally right now. Amidst all this chaos, amidst her sister's betrayal and nearly being killed, she believed. She believed she was the only one who truly understood her little sister. That's why she felt like she had to protect her. That's right. You didn't do anything wrong, Junko. You just wanted to feel despair. That's all. Right? Because you love me. That's why you wanted to kill me. You were just trying to feel despair, right? Sorry. I'm sorry I failed to bring you despair. But at the same time, she wondered. If she saved Makoto's and betrays her sister by disrupting her plan, wouldn't that fill her with an even stronger despair? Wouldn't that make her happy? But betray Junko? What should I do? Mukuro closed her eyes and listened to Makoto's weak breaths. What should I do, Makoto? On a battlefield where all you need to do is kill and survive, Mukuro was invincible. She could suppress all her emotions and fully immerse herself in becoming a perfect killing machine. But on this twisted battlefield of daily high school life, she could no longer keep her emotions in check, especially around her little sister. Mukuro, the ultimate soldier, was beginning to question being ultimate despair. The impulses of the normal high school girl inside her were starting to affect her state of mind. Even so, the poor girl continued to run through the dark hallways, clinging to this conflict within herself. She was now walking along a narrow, hair-thin path. A path between the hope of Makoto Naegi and the deep despair of Junko Enoshima. So she's debating on whether to choose Makoto or Junko. Meanwhile, everyone still in the gym was left in a state of complete confusion. Toko was famous for being a prolific author, but even though she came across as unsociable and depressing, her mind-blowing transformation seemed to have just tossed all that aside. Toko? Is Genocide Jack? Sayaka trembled with fear as Jack tilted her head and struck out her long tongue. What's with this reception, you guys? You guys didn't know who I was? Have I been found out? Or have you known all along? And why is this sullen samurai dressed like that? That outfit did not look good on her at all. The sullen samurai was probably referring to Mukuro, which means Toko already knew Mukuro in advance. Confronted by that shocking truth, the students had no idea where to begin talking. So many things were clearly wrong by this point. But there were a few students, such as Byakuya and Kyoko, who opted to remain calm and observe the situation. Alright, someone better spill it. Who gave Makoto an extra mouth to feed? That might be Genocide. Alright, someone better spill it. Who gave Makoto an extra mouth to feed? I don't care if you want to stab him or slice him. I just can't forgive whoever put that ugly asshole in Big Mac's side. Genocide Jack spun her scissors in her hands. As she spoke, her emotions and facial expressions constantly changed. Even without the threat of her scissors, she exuded an aura of danger that made her unapproachable. The flank steak of a young boy like Macaroon is like a bluebird that pops out a golden egg! If you would just let me handle it, I would have killed him so good that even TYL, and M, or Title and Midle, I think that's what it is. That even Title and Midle would be eager to die. But poor Macute, she has so many nicknames. But poor Macute's heart and soul have been stomped on by such a sloppy kill. That actually sounds pretty exciting too. But I decline. Toko, you're not making any sense, screamed Aoi. What in the world happened to you? Genocide Jack answered by pointing her scissors at Aoi. What happened to me? I got bored, that's what. That sourpuss locked me up a few days ago, but when she went unconscious, I thought I'd finally get to do my thing. But I woke up for all this? A cutie soaked with blood and I've got no clue what's going on. It's so damn confusing, all I can do is laugh. No one seemed to be able to get a straight answer out of Jack, so Ifumi made a timid remark.
I've dealt with girls like this in my 2D dating games, but it doesn't even compare. It's like there's an SSS difficulty level to clear her.
I can't believe you even think about her as someone worth clearing, mumbled Leon. It was clear that things were going nowhere, and as if she was responding to everyone else's expectations, Sakura stepped forward. She might be in the throes of confusion. I should try to restrain her for now. As soon as she heard that, Genocide Jack stopped moving, struck out her lizard-like tongue, and grinned wickedly.
Oh, what's up? Are you really gonna fight me, Battle Ogre? Too bad. My lovely scissors are only for cutting through adorable boys. Women should just stay home. I won't take my scissors with your filthy blood.
Replied Sakura. It seems my words are useless on you. Sakura entered a fighter stance, determined to restrain Jack, but Jack knew she couldn't win in a fair fight, and adopted a strange stance of her own. In a normal fight, Jack would obviously lose to the ogre, but if Jack focused on just dodging attacks, the outcome of the fight would be hard to foresee. Of course, Genocide Jack's physical abilities were only obvious to a few of the students in the first place. The two women exchanged hostile stares at each other, as the other students gulped nervously and watched. Except for one person. Kyoko was watching something else. She was watching Monokuma, who was in the corner of the gym, unmoving, as white noise emitted from his speakers. He stopped moving the moment everyone's attention focused on Sakura and Toko. It's possible that Maserati's hacking had been disrupted, but an infinite number of other possibilities were also swirling around Kyoko's mind. She brushed back her hair with a gloved hand and continued to watch. Though she couldn't fully remember her talent, the actions she was taking right now were fueled by pure instinct. The strange situations that kept occurring in front of her were shaking her to her very core. Her mind worked diligently to scoop up countless amounts of information from her vast sea of memories. And as they were synchronizing with the synapses firing in her brain, Sakura and Toko kicked off the ground at the same time, and intense impact rang throughout the gym. Alright. Okay, this will be the last one. Last chapter. Thanks to the heated battle that was unfolding in the gymnasium, Mukuro Ikusawa was able to buy more time than she had imagined. As soon as she entered the nurse's office, she rummaged through the medical supplies and did what she could to stop the bleeding. Though still quite shallow, Makoto's breathing slowly stabilized. Mukuro let out a little sigh of relief. However, even though she was somehow able to stop the bleeding, she wasn't out of the woods yet. Miraculously enough, it seemed that none of Makoto's major arteries or organs were damaged. Was this perhaps thanks to his ultimate luck? Or maybe he wasn't actually all that lucky. After all, the only sort of medical treatment he could hope for was partial at best. Mukuro couldn't decide. Only I could do a blood transfusion. The nurse's office should have several blood packs for transfusions. Mukuro suspected that Makoto's blood type might be written in his e-handbook, but as she reached over to reach his pockets... I see you're reaching for a sleeping boy's clothes. Oh, I think that might be Monokuma. Maybe.
I see that you're reaching for a sleeping boy's clothes. What in the world is about to happen next? Adults can keep playing, but you kids better press the B button, okay?
What a guy. Mukuro turned toward that familiar voice and saw Monokuma standing before her.
You're all alone with Makoto right now. Just think of me as a cute wild animal and let your lust lead the way. As the headmaster, I must prevent any illicit sexual relationships, but physical education classes are just fine, missy.
Though it looked like he was just like the one that was at the gym, it was a clearly different Monokuma. Multiple Monokumas had been placed throughout the entire academy, so it wasn't a stretch for him to suddenly appear out of nowhere. Regardless, the same person was controlling all of them. Mukuro had been wary of Monokuma attacking her while she was treating Makoto's wounds. But his appearance at this particular moment seemed to take her by surprise. Junko? Asked Mukuro cautiously. Monokuma tilted his head along with his entire upper body inquisitively. Junko? Who's that? Junko? I never heard that country before. No more jokes. Answer me, Junko. You were planning to kill me earlier, right? Junko this, Junko that. What's your problem? I'm telling you, I'm Monokuma. You must be a big disappointment if you can't even remember something like that. You're not just a disappointment as a person, you're a disappointment as a sister, too. You're too skinny, and your brain is nothing but muscles, and your personality is just unbearable. I'm sorry, said Mukuro. She didn't need to apologize, but hearing her little sister call her a disappointment yet again was enough to make the ultimate soldier recoil. Monokuma ignored her in her current situation, climbed on top of Makoto's barely breathing body, and began poking his cheeks. So what are you gonna do with Makoto now? I'm really interested in human mating habits, you know. What are you? Asked Mukuro before trailing off. Monokuma lowered his tone and began whispering into her ear. Makoto's a pretty nice guy, huh? He even sacrificed himself to save you. He's so generous that it's actually hopeless. That's Mukuro, sorry. He's not dead yet, insisted Mukuro. Despite her firm tone, she couldn't hide the fear lingered in her voice. That's the most disappointing thing about you. You can't even say I won't let him die. I won't let him die, Junko. Mukuro could barely get a word in as Monokuma erupted into poo-hoo-hoos and ah-ha-ha-has and continued to torment her. As if you can do that! Too bad. No regrets. See you tomorrow. Is this all because Is this all because Monokuma? Is this all because Makoto was the first person to smile at you? You, a disappointing, depressing, unladylike, inhuman killing machine. Despite denying that Junko, that's narrator. Despite denying that he was Junko, Monokuma began speaking at length about Mukuro's past. This contradiction was very much like Junko, and Mukuro was so shaken that all she could do was watch the bear prattle on and on. Only the fit survive in this world. The only thing that kind-hearted people can do is die, you know? As proof, you're gonna watch Makoto die really soon! He won't die. Mukuro's tone of voice had become irregular ever since she took off Junko's wig. Aside from her conversation with Makoto, everything she said as Junko was a script that her sister had written. But now, there was no script for Mukuro to rely on anymore. Mukuro was treating Monokuma like she would treat her own sister. If the other students saw her acting so weak, they'd never believe she was the same person who fought Sakura in the gym. Not just that, if anyone from her mercenary past could see her right now, her stark change in attitude might make them think she was someone else entirely. Monokuma continued to rail against Mukuro. Nope, he's gonna die. I know it's sad, but you just have to face the facts. God freaking damn it! I keep messing up the script! Monokuma wiggled his limbs and danced around, then pointed right at Mukuro's face. Because Makoto's going to die by your hands. Huh? Infighting among the terrorists. The big bad terrorist silenced the weak-willed Makoto before he can leak any information. Doesn't that happen all the time? In the end, all the desperate things you said in the gym turned out to be lies you told just to escape. Mukuro frowned at Monokuma. You can't do that, Junko. I won't let you do that. As she blurted out those words in a trembling voice, Mukuro was gripped with confusion about what she just said. Am I defying Junko right now? Why? It was a strange feeling. To Mukuro, it was like she was standing on the ledge of a tall building and imagining what would happen if she jumped. A destructive feeling akin to holding a friend's baby and wondering what would happen if you tripped and fell. Before she knew it, fear and anxiety had suddenly taken control of Mukuro's heart. As a member of Fenrir, and as ultimate despair, Mukuro had killed innumerable people. She had handled their live grenades before. She descended from the sky in a parachute and anti-aircraft weaponry fired all around her. Her heart never wavered on the battlefield, but now it felt like it could collapse at any second. Monokuma, however, was as stable as a tree, and slightly tilted his head to the side.
Huh? Aren't you listening to my story? I'm not the one who's gonna kill Makoto. You are.
What are you saying, Junko? Monokuma began giving a strange explanation to a very confused Mukuro.
Do you know what the suspension bridge effect really means? It means you push the person you love off a bridge and they'll be yours for eternity.
I haven't heard that at all.
Life doesn't always follow what your textbooks say. It's sad, but that's what love is.
His words made no sense, and Mukuro could think of anything to say as she stood there dumbfounded. Meanwhile, Monokuma continued his little speech, intentionally saying things meant to antagonize Mukuro.
Basically, this is your big chance, you know? If you kill Makoto right here and now, nobody will ever take him away from you again.
Oto Naegi.
Dead by dawn. The last name he ever spoke was Mukuro Ikusaba. The last person he ever smiled at was Mukuro Ikusaba. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
There was a certain appeal to Monokuma's twisted suggestion, and Mukuro found herself unsure of her own judgment. This is wrong. It has to be wrong. But it's really Junko saying all this, so doesn't she mean it's right? No, this isn't Junko. It's Monokuma. Monokuma, 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 Monokuma.
And are you sure you want to help Makoto? Once he gets better, he's gonna know everything. He'll know what you did to your classmates. I can't believe you would actually erase your friends' memories of their time together and force them to kill each other. Makoto might get mad at you and say, our real enemy isn't the bear, it's her. Do you really want him to blame you for this?
Mukuro's face turned pale.
Or are you going to kill the others? If everyone except you and Makoto dies, you'll be able to spend the rest of your school life together. You can't hold a class trial with only 2 people. It might be a good idea for you both to live the rest of your lives in this academy forever.
No, that's wrong.
And what are you gonna do if his memories return? It's not like you were dating Makoto or anything. You were just watching him from afar the whole time. Man, you're so shy. You can shoot people's hearts and brains no problem, but you can't even woo some stupid boy into liking you. Do you want to know who Makoto had a crush on before his memories were taken away?
Mukuro trembled as Monokuma continued pressing the issue, gradually loosening the screws keeping her heart secure. So Mukuro chose to pretend she didn't hear anything at all. All emotion vanished from her face, and she looked silently for Makoto's e-handbook.
If you're looking for his blood type, it's not written in the handbook.
Makoto's face turned pale. Within 5 seconds, her plan to ignore Monokuma already failed.
But since your headmaster is made up of 50% kindness, I'll tell you anyway. Makoto's blood type is B.
As soon as she heard him say that, all the anxiety, horror, hostility, malice, and dread churning within Mukuro had completely vanished. Thank you, Junko. Mukuro's eyes sparkled without a hint of suspicion. So she turned her back to Monokuma without a hint of suspicion, and walked toward the refrigerator containing the blood packs. Fresh blood packs should have been prepared before the plan took effect. They'll last in cold storage for 21 days. They should still be good. Despite her emotionless face, Mukuro let herself feel a small amount of satisfaction as she took a blood pack from the refrigerator. As Monokuma watched her, his normally emotionless eyes twitched ever so slightly. If a third party could see his face right now, or even if the other students could see his face right now, they wonder, is Monokuma surprised? That's right. They had the same shocked look on their faces as they were seeing Monokuma for the first time. At that moment, a whisper crept out of Monokuma's emotionless face.
There should be a limit on how disappointing you can be.
It was far quieter than a mosquito's wings. Even with her battle-hardened hearing, Mukuro couldn't hear what he said. Monokuma shook his head and the voice returned to normal.
It's not like I care that you, the ultimate despair, have hope in anything. It's not like I expected much from you to begin with, so this'll at least help me feel despair. But seriously, you disappoint me. Just so you know, despair and disappointment are completely different things, okay? They're as different as bears and pandas.
What are you... Mukuro's body started to shake as he turned back to look at Monokuma. He hadn't started talking any differently than usual. Junko hadn't turned off the voice modulator and started talking in her real voice or anything. And yet, Mukuro was utterly terrified. She was terrified on instinct. Not as a soldier. Half the reason was terrified because of their instincts of the ultimate despair. And the other half was because she was Junko's older sister. Even though Monokuma, her instincts were telling her that Junko was annoyed with her. Junko? Well, why are you annoyed? Is it because I betrayed you? Or is it because I didn't die like you wanted me to?
Ugh,
spoke Monokuma.
I'm beyond annoyed. I'm really, really angry, and I'm really, really disappointed right now. I'm so pissed I could take a rage nap right now.
Monokuma's anger didn't seem any different from his usual anger toward the students, but Mukuro could instinctively sense another emotion mixed with it. Right now, she could feel that Junko was feeling hopeless disappointment. It's normal for someone who's disappointed to lose hope, but for ultimate despair, disappointment means something else entirely. To them, disappointment was tantamount to losing despair itself. Mukuro was a member of Ultimate Despair. At her sister's behest, Mukuro had soiled her hands many times in order to fill the world with despair. Yes, despite her pride toward being a member of Ultimate Despair, there was a clear difference between Mukuro and her sister. Junko Enoshima was a despair incarnate. She was born in despair, letting it infect other people's hopes so it could rot them from the inside out, twisting them into her own image. For Junko, feeling hope was his own despair. Creating despair in others created despair in herself, which caused her to feel both intense pain and intense bliss. Junko had walked the fracture created from the conflict between pleasure and penance all her life, a penance. Eventually, the fracture would widen until it swallowed the world and tore it in half. But Mukuro, on the other hand, had neither hope nor despair in the world. At least not when she was a member of Fenrir. Ever since she was a child, Mukuro believed that she was meant to spread despair because of her sister. She didn't harbor any ill will toward the world, she simply accepted she was meant to spread despair and chose to walk the same path as her sister. The doubt she felt was only a recent development. When Junko told her about the plan, when she watched the world burn at the hands of terrorists wearing Monokuma masks, she never wavered once. However, as soon as she heard about her sister's plan to make her classmates kill each other, Makoto included, a strange feeling began to stir within her. What started as a seed of doubt soon grew into a thorny vine ensnaring Mukuro's feet. As soon as she disguised herself as Junko and finished meeting with the other students, as soon as she confirmed that everyone's memories had been completely taken away, that vine began tightening around Mukuro's heart. They're gone. Junko's the only one who knows about me now. That's it. But that's no problem. It's just like old times. Things will never go back to how they used to be, but that's fine. This should be fine. She had relinquished the past 2 years she had spent with her friends so she could betray them and deliver death and despair onto them. Though her heart ached, Mukuro was beyond feeling guilt or remorse for her actions. But the question, why does my heart ache like this, still remained unanswered. Perhaps that's why she spent so much time talking to Makoto when she was in the nurse's office. And when Makoto gave her that one particular answer, something changed inside her. In return, I promise that if I do decide to kill someone, it won't be you. The words Mukuro blurted out to Makoto weren't improvised to further her role as Junko. It was an honest sentiment from the bottom of her heart. She was even planning to ask Junko herself if Makoto could somehow be spared from her plan. Over the past 2 years, Mukuro's interest has slowly shifting away from her sister toward the world itself. By extension, her interest also included Makoto, the first person to ever smile at her and make her feel connected to the world. He was like a sapling of pure honesty that had taken root in Mukuro's heart. But by the time she realized that, the tree had already rotted. As Mukuro struggled to understand the situation, Monokuma let out a sigh and said, I wonder which part of you is a wolf anyway. You're just a dog that blindly follows Junko's orders. What does the tattoo on your hand even mean? Are you just a bitch who's pledged her loyalty to her owner? I bet Toko would say that. I'm positive. Monokuma continued to talk as Mukuro stood in confusion. I was obviously lying when I said Makoto's blood type is B. What? Cried Mukuro. You lied? Junko. A normal person would have been suspicious. I never thought you actually believed me just now. I must have misplaced my eyes because I totally did not see that coming. Not even with my ability to predict the future. How shocking. Geez, I'm about to start crying my eyes out like some sort of robot cat. Seriously. It's going to be okay, Junko, said Mukuro. I know our plan fell apart, but I'm still on your side. Are you feeling alright? Because I'll do anything. Nap. A harsh sound came from Monokuma's mouth. That sound was one of my circuits overloading. It's been so long since I felt this angry. Meet me on the roof of the school. I'll smash out all your baby teeth. Monokuma started shadowboxing in front of Mukuro, who remained frozen in place, clutching a blood pack in her hand. She still looked confused, and Monokuma threw his arms up in frustration. You're so disappointing I can't even predict it anymore. Rawr! A threatening roar burst from Monokuma's mouth as he leapt toward Mukuro as sharp claws extended. At that moment, her face became completely emotionless. It was not a conscious action. The defensive instincts she honed during her time with Fenrir temporarily suppressed her emotions as she countered Monokuma's attack. Mukuro grabbed a nearby IV stand and used it to parry Monokuma's claws. However, Monokuma's claws seemed to be made with a special alloy and easily sliced the bar in half diagonally. But instead of following up his attack, Monokuma continued talking to Mukuro. I guess you're not much of a disappointment when it comes to fighting. In fact, you were so pathetic that you died from this single attack that would have been interesting in its own way. But right now, you're just incompetent at everything. I'm sorry, said Mukuro. I couldn't help blocking your attack. But there's no way I can fight you, Junko. After all, I'm all you have. I'm the only one who understands you at all. Mukuro's words were riddled with endless dismay. The contrast between her usual stoic self and the way she was acting now was so stark, people might assume she had multiple personalities. However, Monokuma just quietly stared at her. He was perfectly still, as if his functions had powered down completely. But Mukuro continued to share her feelings. That's Mukuro. There's no way I can just leave you alone. And then, Monokuma broke his silence. But, at that moment, a monitor in the nurse's office lit up displaying a girl's face. Junko Enoshima. At the same time, a voice completely unlike Monokuma's began to play from the speakers. Hey, Mukuro. Junko! It had been several days since Mukuro had heard her sister's real voice, though her face remained emotionless. Excitement sparkled in her eyes. However, that shine was immediately dulled. I'm grateful to you, Mukuro. I mean it. Junko's voice emanating from the speakers sounded very gentle and kind. Junko? I'm really sorry. I said so many mean things to you. I even tried to kill you earlier. I was about to make you do something horrible just now. Even though I know about your feelings toward Makoto. You don't have to force yourself. Even if you didn't notice, it was totally obvious to anyone looking at you. You never cared about the class photos, but when Makoto said he was going to take one, you made sure you were facing the camera. And then Junko Enoshima, the ultimate despair, flashed a smile. A pure, sweet smile. On the monitor, she looked like a normal high school girl teasing her older sister. And yet, Mukuro could feel despair and anxiety encasing themselves around her. I always thought you should have tried hard to take pictures with Makoto. But I guess that's what makes you so disappointing. Still, even though you're disappointing and annoying, I still love you. Mukuro trembled upon hearing those words. I love you. That's all she ever wanted to hear her sister say. Mukuro believed. No matter what Junko said, she believed she really loved her. She believed she was the only one who could truly understand the despair known as Junko Enoshima. She was naive. As soon as she heard Junko say, I love you, Mukuro realized she never completely understood her sister. It was only at this moment that Mukuro finally understood her sister's feelings. Junko's words right now were kind. Perhaps that kindness was completely honest. The words, I love you, might have been true as well. However, for Junko Enoshima, this was her way of saying goodbye. It was severing the ties between them. It was painfully clear to Mukuro. Then, before she could even say anything, the girl in the monitor made a remark that cut Mukuro to the bone. I'm sure someday you'll make your dreams come true. Ultimate despairs never talked to each other like this. A simple truth stabbed into Mukuro's heart. Junko had no further use for her. Her own sister was parting ways with her. Mukuro had dedicated over 10 years of her life to cause the ultimate despair, and at this moment, it all counted for nothing. But those years no longer mattered to Mukuro. Her sister's rejection was more than enough to send her into the depths of despair. That's why Mukuro, even now, clung to a small sliver of hope. Meanwhile, Junko was on the monitor. Yeah, right. Did you really think I'd say something that nice? You're so annoying. Can't you just hurry up and disappear already? Mukuro hoped Junko would say something like that. She hoped she would start verbally abusing her again or call her useless and incompetent. Mukuro was no masochist, but she preferred to be showered with bullets and contempt and endure this kind of emotional pain. But I love you, Mukuro. Bye-bye. Monitor went black, leaving Mukuro to process the horrible goodbye she just received. And as if on cue, Monokuma started moving again. Isn't family love so nice? By the way, did you know that about half of all murder cases, the killer is a family member? Monokuma spoke in his usual tone of voice, but it was unclear if his words were getting through to Mukuro. Mukuro let the blood pack in her hand fall to the floor and tightened her grip on the iron bar she was still holding. Sorry. 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 Muko. So sorry. Sorry. She mumbled quietly as she were chanting a spell and walked past the blood pack to the floor to Makoto's bedside with the iron bar in her hands. I'll do it properly. I'll make sure I do it. So... said Monokuma, perking up. What are you gonna properly do to Makoto with that big, thick rod you got there? Are you gonna do him? Or are you gonna do him in? Either way, I'm starting to feel some heart-throbbing excitement. Mukuro looked like she'd been completely broken. Monokuma walked closer to her with eager anticipation. Suddenly, Monokuma's body lay silently floated into the air. Huh? With no expression on his face, Monokuma tried to see what had just happened to him. And in the blink of an eye, an iron bar ripped through his body. The tip of the bar, which had been cut diagonally earlier into a sharp point, went straight through Monokuma and stabbed into a surveillance camera. The lens were completely destroyed and the camera shot out sparks as it broke down. The iron bar was still stabbed into the surveillance camera as Monokuma dangled from the other end. He opened his mouth as if to say something, but only static came out. A few seconds later, his functions came to a complete stop. Without making a sound at all, Mukuro had kicked Monokuma into the air. As soon as Monokuma's power source and his bomb circuit had been perfectly aligned with the surveillance camera in the nurse's office, Mukuro plunged the iron bar into all three of them. No normal human has the skills to utilize such a technique. Not even an ultimate. All the hesitation within Mukuro had vanished, her eyes sparkled like a panther stalking its prey at night. A tense aura surrounded Mukuro, even more so than when she fought Sakura earlier. Ignoring Monokuma's lifeless form, she looked at Makoto as he breathed softly and remembered her sister's parting words. "Oh, this is despair," she mumbled to herself. "I'm so sorry, Junko. I never really understood what despair was." She spoke without emotion, like a machine. "But it's going to be alright now. I finally understand." Hidden within her, patches began to stir. "So, I'll make sure I make you happy, Junko. I'll make sure I fill you with despair. I'll save Makoto. I'll make sure the others don't die. I'll let them escape from this place. I'll deal with the people on the outside too. You invested so much time and killed so many people for the sake of this plan. And I'll destroy every last remnant of it. For you." This was not an act of vengeance toward the sister who had abandoned her. This was an act of mercy. Stuck between the ultimate despair and the hope she gained from Makoto, Mukuro was being refined into something that was unlike despair or hope. And she had no way of knowing where her path would lead. Alright, ooh, it's getting interesting. Alright, so I'm actually gonna call it here. We went on for a while now, but yeah, we went on for a bit. But yeah, we beat Danganronpa 2. Just wanted to say that. But until then, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, also comment and subscribe to get new feed on videos, and become a member of the Goop Goop crew today. Also be sure to follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky so you can recommend any of the fidget games you want me to play or chat, your preference. Also, if you subscribe, be sure to tap that bell to get new notifications on videos so you'll never see an upload from me ever again. But that's going to be it from Danganronpa 2. In the next episode, I guess it might be the final one, who knows. I do want to finish this novel, and then we'll probably call it on Danganronpa 2 as a Let's Play. So, until then, have a nice day, have a nice night. Amateur is out. Stay safe, stay sharp, stay crazy, and I shall see you in the next episode. Peace!